Breedlove says, stand to your timber.
Stand to Okay.
Oh, I didn't get a good look at him. Is Fred Shear sporting a ponytail now?
Yeah.
Was he? Was he here now?
Yeah, right down front. See the silver.
Oh, I just
the silver fox.
Yep, the silver fox.
This sport, it's not easy. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of sweat. It takes a lot of determination in order to become better. This sport is a lot like work.
You're looking at the best in the country, and they're hungry.
Best guys in the world, not just the country.
It's really impressive how many guys have dedicated their lives at trying to be the best.
In order to be competitive with them, you have to be willing to do the same.
It's driving, Led's done it! Holy cow, you just don't see that happen! That block is off already.
When it comes to the U.S. final, all the competition gets really tight.
Everybody has the physical ability. They wouldn't be on the stage if they didn't.
It's a big mental event.
Timber sports is a fast, it's an exciting, it's a wonderful event.
I would say that this year there actually are 7 guys who I think that could potentially win it.
And I include myself in those 7.
I came here to win.
Keeps you on your toes. There's nobody slacking around here, and everybody's giving it their all.
The guys here competing today have put a lot into getting here.
Competition here in this event is unmatched.
This is what we call hardcore blue-collar toughness. Absolute insanity. Unbelievable. Holy cow! What was that?
Welcome to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Welcome to German Fest here on the shores of Lake Michigan. Welcome, welcome everyone to here inside the BMO Pavilion and watching our streaming live coverage all around the world. In just a few minutes, the competition will begin, and at the end of it all, we will have our 2023 STIHL Timbersports U.S. Champion. Here to lead us through this competition. Well, let's bring the man out. Truly a legend in lumberjack sports. So many records set, so many championships. And plus that, he's the greatest ambassador and teacher perhaps the sport has ever known. We're lucky to have him. Let's hear it for the one, the only, Super Dave Jewett.
Oh, man, here we go. Here we go again. It's happened already. 1 year has passed. But we're back at German Fest. Milwaukee, the 41st year of Milwaukee German Fest, the 37th year of STIHL Timbersports, and we are so psyched to be back here. STIHL Timbersports, the original extreme sport that started back in 1985. I was lucky to compete in this sport for 25 years, they gave me the nickname Super Dave Jewett. I'm the head man in charge from Virginia Beach. Roger Phelps said before I came out, Dave, kick ass. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to kick some butt if I can keep my job. But I tell you what, this wouldn't have happened for the 37 years without STIHL. STIHL, again, sold in over 100 countries worldwide. STIHL Timbersports in 27 countries. All their STIHL electric and gas-powered saws can be found at Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware, who is on board now. We love having them as a sponsor. You can see all their power tools up here. All their hand tools going to be on stage. Duluth Trading Company as well is on board. All the stage crew, all the competitors will be decked out in Duluth Trading Company apparel. And John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer. And the women's champion from Friday, the national title winner, Martha King from Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania, drove off in a John Deere Gator. At the end of today's competition, one of these gentlemen out back, the top 12, will also take home a John Deere Gator. It's going to be a few hours of competition. I'm going to need a little help from the guys out in back, Tommy Sanders and Kevin Holtz. Tommy and Kevin, great to have you back.
Thank you so much, Super David. Kevin, we just saw some of our competitors on screen when we got started here talking about the strength of this field. Who's got a chance? Who's the favorites? In your mind, who are the heavy favorites to watch today?
Well, I mean, all eyes are obviously going to be on Matt Coger. He has more championships. He goes through championships like I go through cookies. Matt Coger is just going to be the man to beat. However, we have, I say, one of the deepest talent pools ever here on Final Days. I love what I saw yesterday from that man right there, Matty Slingerland. His head was in the right spot, had a little bit of chewing gum. He said that's just helping him keep relaxed, and that's exactly what he needs. He knows what he's got to do. You know who else who knows what he's got to do? That man right there from California, Walt Page. We've been watching him since the college ranks. Again, his head is always in the right spot, and his skill set, his strength, his speed is just developing more and more every year. Also going to be a contender.
that man right there, the big guy, Jason Lentz. He got a taste of a championship a few years ago. He wants more. He doesn't want to be a one-time champion. He wants to be a 5, 6, 7-time champion, and he's in a great position to do it. I could go on with probably 5 more guys that all have a shot here today.
Absolutely, and we know, as again, this field's so talented, top to bottom, they're all going to have magic moments. They're all going to shine today. It's almost time to meet them, and for that, we're going to turn it back over to you, Super Dave.
Thanks, Tommy. Let's bring him out. From Marysville, Ohio, Grant Foreman. Coming all the way from Barnett, Vermont, give it up for Calvin Willard. And the big man from Springville, New York, Mark Boquin. All the way from Diana, West Virginia, past champion Jason Lentz. The veteran from Charleston, West Virginia, Arden Koger Jr. And the local boy from the North Woods of Hayward, Wisconsin, Cassidy Shear. And flying his personal plane all the way from North Fork, California. Give it up for Nate Hodges. From Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Matt Slingerland. From Matthews, North Carolina, big round of applause for Ben Nicely. And he's back from Morgantown, West Virginia, Josh Wilson. Making the long drive all the way from Toll House, California, one of the best springboard choppers in the world, Walt Page. And our final athlete, a 7-time Timber Sports champion from Grafton, West Virginia, Matthew Koger. And at this time, let's bring out our head judges, Jonathan Russell and his 30th year judging for STIHL Timber Sports. On the right, Rich Hallett. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able. Remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. Big round of applause for our top 12 athletes.
The STIHL Timbersports individual competition. In the first round, all athletes compete in 3 disciplines: the underhand chop, the stock saw, and the standing block chop. The times achieved will be converted into points upon completion of each discipline. In round 1, a difference of 1 point applies in each discipline, thus the fastest athlete receives 12 points and the slowest only 1 point. Any rule infraction will result in a disqualification and the athlete will receive 0 points for that discipline. At the end of the first round, the athletes with the lowest scores are eliminated. Only 8 athletes make it to the second round. In this second round, the remaining athletes compete in the single buck and the springboard for increased scores. With 2 points difference between placings, the fastest athlete now receives 16 points and the slowest receives 2. The 2 athletes with the lowest total points are eliminated at the end of round 2. Only the top 6 reach the third round. In the third round, anything is still possible in the hot saw, as an increased score interval of 3 points applies in this final round. The fastest athlete can score up to 18 points at the hot saw, the slowest only 3 points. The athlete who manages to achieve the highest total score across all 3 rounds is the new champion.
First heat of the underhand chop, Grant Foreman and Calvin Willard.
Grant Foreman, 45 years old, from Marysville, Ohio, an automotive engineer. He's got experience here. He finished 5th last year in these championships. Going up against Calvin Willard, also with championship experience. Finished 5th in 2016. He was 10th here last year. Foreman on stand 1, Willard on stand 2 to your right.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Well, Tommy, Calvin Willard always a threat in this underhand chop, and I've been very excited as what I've been seeing out of Grant Foreman, especially the past couple of years, not just on this stage, but around the circuit as well. There it is, Calvin Willard around about a swing and a half ahead of Grant Foreman. Both these guys with pretty clean-looking cuts, nice-looking lines. Foreman, though, seems to be finding a second gear. It's not enough. One hit at the turn, one hit at the finish for Calvin Willard.
Nice job, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
Calvin Willard, Calvin, you know, I was watching you guys all lined up out back. You're all swaying back and forth. You can see the nerves. At what point do the nerves just wash away and you do your job?
Well, sometimes they don't, but you know, nerves are good. It means you're excited to do your event. So basically, the nerves don't go away till you start swinging.
Well, you seem to gain a one-hit advantage in the front of that log, and you just maintain that, and that really was the one hit that won you that race.
Yeah, you know, we're all pretty tight, so you know, one hit can be a lot, and yeah, I'll take it.
I know you weren't able to run the hot saw last year. You were knocked out early. We're going to hope you move on. We want to see you in the hot saw later. One of the fastest hot sawyers in the world. Thanks, Calvin. Good luck.
Thanks, Dave.
As Calvin said, for our veteran competitors, sometimes that go and that first strike of the axe just settles the nerves. Calvin Willard showing how important every swing is going to be today. One swing, one position advantage so far over Grant Foreman.
Good close race to start us out right there. Calvin Willard, his official time, 21.52, and Grant Foreman just behind with a 22.68.
Second heat of the underhand chop, Mark Boquin and Jason Lentz.
Here we go. That's Mark Boquin, hard-hitting lumberjack from New York State, going up against the 2021 U.S. champion Jason Lentz.
I mentioned in the opening, Tommy, that Jason got a taste of it. He knows what it means to be the champion now. He knows that he deserves to stand on that podium. And I think not being there 2 years in a row, I think that stuck with him a little bit. We're seeing a great mental acuity out of Jason this year.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Mark Boquin, of course, battling back with health concerns over the past several years, has been doing very well. No sign of that now. Jason Lentz, I can tell from this side of the log that he got way to the bottom of that front side, his first face. He is a little shorted on his front. That might be intentional. There it is. Jason Lentz rotating that block away on the far side. Beautiful cut from both these guys, dropping down into that 17-second range.
Both cuts are good.
Jason, you took 7 seconds off your semifinal time. What did you adjust?
Oh, the wood was a bit better today, Dave, and yeah, my front hit and my last hit in the front went where it wanted to go.
All right, thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
Here's another look at that cut. You can see that horizontal black line in the block. That's where these guys want to be aiming for their opening drive. Usually they want kind of the heel of the axe there, maybe a little bit high there, but you could just see the wood ripping apart underneath the feet of Jason Lentz.
Good time to shoot for there. 16.85 officially for Jason Lentz. For Mark Boquin, 18.50.
My outlook going into the championship is one of, let's see if I can be a thorn in the side of the young boys. That's all I want to do. I know that my best days are behind me, but I still have a skill set that makes me relevant. And it's that skill set that will take some points away for some young guys.
My strategy today is really go as hard as I can in the first 5 disciplines and hopefully build a lead into the hot saw, which if I have, puts pressure on them to go hard and chase in the hot saw. And when guys do that, they make mistakes and they DQ. And that can bump me up the hot saw rankings. And hopefully at the end of it, I'm on top. The last time we were in Milwaukee, that's what happened.
Heat 3 of the underhand chop, Arden Koger Jr. and your local boy, Cassidy Shear.
All right, a couple of former champions here. Cassidy Shear, U.S. champion in 2019 and 4-time U.S. champion at 53 years of age. Arden Koger Jr., ageless Arden Koger.
We mentioned Jason Lentz getting that first championship title. Cassidy Shear in that same boat. He got a taste of it in 2019, and he wants to be back on top.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And of course, Arden Koger Jr., we can't say enough good stuff about his performance in the semifinal round. Came out strong in the springboard and carried it through all the way to the hot saw. Look at Cassidy Shear around already a couple blows ahead of Arden Koger Jr. I don't know if he bailed on that front face too soon. We're about to find out if he did the work, and he did! Unofficial time showing for Cassidy Shear around 16.5 seconds.
Both cuts are good.
waiting on your official time. They're bouncing around a little bit. Cassidy, you talk about studying biomechanics. It just works. Whatever's working, your head, the axes. Talk about how you're feeling in the final day today.
I feel good. I'm usually not a speed cutter, but 16 seconds, 19 hits, that's as fast as I can go. Good piece of wood. I mean, I think I chopped it well, and I'm just feeling great, and I want to thank you all for coming out today. Yo-ho!
Thanks, Cassidy.
Well, here's a look at that blistering pace set by Cassidy Shear. We talk a lot of times about the hit speed of Arden Coger Jr. Cassidy Shear just found another gear. Again, that 16 and change with 19 hits in the block, including the turn, is a blistering pace.
Yeah, good effort for Cassidy Shear. Has him in second place with a 17.96. Arden Coger Jr. with a 22.56.
Stay focused. You got to stay focused here, not let nerves get you, and go out there and do what I've been training hard for, and just try to do the events proper. If I can do the events proper, I'll be in a good situation.
Well, my game plan obviously is to win this thing. I've been trying for a long time, so the plan never changes. Go out there and make smooth cuts. Smooth cuts will normally do it.
So there's some things that could go really good this weekend. We'll see what happens. It's you get out there under the lights and the camera and the action, and a little bit of pressure. And, things don't always go perfect, but sometimes they do. So I do have some pretty high goals. I would love to walk away with a win overall. That's the main focus here.
Feet for the underhand chop, Nate Hodges and Maddie Slingerland.
Couple of athletes who have been so close so many times. For each of them, 2 silver medals, just shy of the gold. They got a taste for it this time around. Let's see how it happens.
And again, we got to remind ourselves too, Nate Hodges is really in the infancy stage of his career. To have 2 silver medals at this point in his career, it just shows what a juggernaut of a trajectory he is on. And again, he's right there.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Had a nice talk with some members of the Slingerland family this morning. We were talking about Maddie's mental state. He just seems so calm, cool, collected, focused. He's a bit behind Hodges into the backside of this log. Hodges, that club-handed swing, just peppering the log with blows. There it is at the bottom. Oh, Maddie's gonna go back. That was a smart move. It's such a tough call, though. He may have had that the wood shifted. You could see it move. But if there were any fibers hanging in the middle, then that... Uh-oh. Okay, we're taking... So we're taking a look at stand number 1, Nate Hodges. You see the flag fly. It's kind of in the center of the stage, but I believe that came from our head judge, Jonathan, who's on the left side of the stage. I've got to believe they're looking at a jump gun. According to Dave, his footholds look good. That is not going to be how Nate Hodges wants to start this first round of 5 disciplines. Well, Tommy, a quick decisions, you never know what to make of that, because they could have looked at it and gone, oh yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, you don't know.
Oh yeah,
Here we go.
problem.
Okay, after reviewing the start, we've determined that both cuts are good.
There's a sigh of relief for
Looking
Nate
at the
Hodges.
jump gun, Rich Hallett. Rich Hallett, hey buddy. Jump gun, is that what we're looking at? Jump gun. Okay, so he's good. Hold on, Hodges. Don't go anywhere. You're just in a hurry to hit. You're in a hurry to get off the stage. Now you got to slow down. You were quick on the go, but that's something you practice. Here, come over here a little bit. You gain tenths everywhere, correct?
If you aren't racing the clock there, you aren't racing at all, in my opinion. So yeah, I pushed it a little bit. It is race day.
That was unbelievable hit speed. It's hard to describe to the crowd. You're not, like, can you hold your axe up again one more time? Show what we're doing. See, Scott, that basically stops your hand. Give me this other axe. Here, hold that axe. Hold that axe up the way you hold it. So you really, it just gives you a better, faster piston, not sliding your hands.
Absolutely, just up the frequency of the hits and not sacrificing power. I was able to turn it on a little bit better piece of wood than yesterday, so that's turned the throttle up and it seemed to work.
Great job, congratulations.
Thanks, Dave.
Well, let's watch here as Nate Hodges opens this block, opens it right in the guts, then comes up high, around to another high hit, then down towards the bottom. Very clean lines, each hit chasing one right after the other. He is picking up speed, maybe losing a little power with the club-handed chop, but he is keeping the speed and the accuracy. Here you can see, again, kind of that hunched over position. He is not getting the power, I would say, behind that axe that he could be if he was up a little higher, but he's getting the job done with the hit speed and just punching those hits in.
Nate Hodges a time of 17.39, going to put him right up there in second place behind Jason Lentz. Matt Slinger a time officially of 19.26.
Fifth heat of the underhand chop, Ben Nicely and Josh Wilson.
Ben Nicely from Matthews, North Carolina. Ben has been at these championships before. He was 11th last year and 8th in 2021. Josh Wilson, also from the Eastern Seaboard, Morganton, West Virginia, 9th place in both 21 and 22.
Well, Tommy, Ben Nicely's a great cutter. I'm really tuned in on stand number 2.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Stand 2 being Josh Wilson. He does an extensive amount of training with Arden Koger Jr., and he's been working on his trophy events, his relay, his one-man relay events, getting real close to those footholds. Ben Nicely giving a run for his money, though. 2 clean chops. Sometimes we see things get out of hand on championship day. Uh-oh. The bottom of that block. Okay, never mind. We're all right. It looked really bizarre, but there's just a chip of wood that fell out of the bottom of that block, and it made it look like it was breaking apart funny, like he had some uncut wood on the bottom under his left foot. Just a precariously positioned chip, I guess.
Both cuts are good.
Well, just watching you guys side by side racing, Ben had a massive hit on the front, went to the handle, he stuck the axe. It took him a little bit to pull that axe out. You were just fluid, and ultimately at the end that gave you the win. Talk about that chop.
Yeah, I mean, it was great wood, and I used my underhand axe. I've used this axe every underhand I've cut in like the last 5 years. It's just one of those axes that cuts well. I'm familiar with it, and it hardly ever sticks, so I just stick with it, and it works. So.
Great job, Josh.
Thank you.
There's a great look at Josh Wilson. He said an axe never sticks, but unfortunately on that, I think actually we're looking at Ben Nicely here. That axe stuck a little bit for Ben Nicely. Great lines, great cut, but you can see those opening hits going right to the maker's mark and hanging up a bit for him.
Josh Wilson and Ben Nicely been competing against one another in their neck of the woods for a long, long time, despite their youthful age. Great cut by Josh Wilson has him in third place with a 17.67. Ben Nicely. Ben Nicely in fourth place with a 17.94.
Well, today with the elimination format, you know, it's you got to get through round 1, which is a challenge, like especially with the field that we've got today. You know, the two standing underhand and stock saw are a lot of good guys out there, and dropping 4 off when we get done with those 3 events, you know, making that cut is goal 1.
The first discipline is the underhand chop, and knock on wood, I don't think I've lost very many of those. So that one kind of gives you like a nice high riding into the next disciplines. So then you kind of take that momentum and kind of run forward. It's kind of like one of the better events anyway.
Sixth and final heat of the underhand chop, Walt Page and Matthew Koger.
Final heat of the underhand chop. There he is, Walt Page, Toll House, California. Walt Page, 6th here in 22, 4th in 2021. Going against the 7-time U.S. champion, looking for his 8th this time around, Matt Koger.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
They always say you can tell a lot about a person by the company you keep. Walt Page on the stage with 7-time champ Matt Koger. Koger just slightly ahead, but Walt right on his heels, maybe 2 blows behind. Watch for Matt to drive a ton of wood at the bottom. There it is. Very clean finish. Tons of slope. Look at the lines that Matt Koger had drawn versus the angle he actually applied the axe. Tons of slope. Great penetration. Drove off a ton of wood at the bottom.
Both cuts are good.
There we go, and a great time for Walt Page in the 18, so great steal points for Walt Page. We'll get a quick word with our 7-time champ, Matt Koger. How'd it go?
Yeah, it was good. I think the axe selection worked really well, just that the consistency on the inside of the log was just a little bit different than the out, so it reacted a little bit different once I got into the log.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking, sometimes the sapwood, that outer wood, can actually be firmer than the heartwood inside. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's a little bit of differentiation between the out and inner. Yep.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
There's another look at it. That can play up with trouble when the outside of the log is a little bit harder than the inside. You can imagine a situation where the axe buries into the middle of the log, and if the outer core, the very top and the bottom of the wood, don't release, you're going to end up hanging the point of the axe. So you actually shove the axe into the soft stuff in the middle, and you end up like in the middle of a Tootsie Pop with nowhere to go.
Matt Koger, our defending champ, given notice that he is in town to take care of business, gets top points in the underhand chop with an official time of 15:37. Walt Page in 8th place with a 19.18.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is being live streamed to the world. We need everybody on your feet. You got a big crowd shot. We got the boom camera right there. We need everyone waving. There we go. There we go. This will be aired around the world. So everyone on your feet for just a few more seconds for the STIHL Timbersports men's final event. Again, being live streamed around the world as we speak. Come on, show us what you got, Wisconsin. One more time, that's a few more seconds for me. Love it. There you go, now yeah, here we go. It's infectious. It's infectious, Panda madness. First heat of the stock saw, Grant Foreman and Nate Hodges.
There's Grant Foreman on stand number 1 going up against Nate Hodges. Grant Foreman again 5th place last year in these U.S. championships. He was in North Little Rock, Arkansas last year. Nate Hodges been the silver medalist twice. Got beat by Matt Koger by 4 points last year.
Warm up your saws.
Hodges has been almost there. He's almost been to the top of the mountain. 2 silver medals in his relatively short timber sports career. My concern
Athletes
is
ready.
Pressure.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
This is not the discipline to apply too much pressure. You've got to be 100% switched on, feeling and listening to that saw. Oh no, Grant Foreman, stand number 1. This is not what we needed from Grant Foreman. If he's going to grab enough points to be part of the conversation after the first 5 disciplines, this is what I was talking about, Tommy. You push the envelope just a nano too far.
Both cuts are good.
Hey, we were just talking about the semifinal round. I knew something went wrong. You grabbed the chain break in the semifinal round and engaged it. You made a quick recovery, but it really cost you some steel points. Clean run today, though. How do you wipe that? How do you wipe the slate and start over?
Well, today I was a little more deliberate about my run. I tried to get in a hurry yesterday, and there was really no reason to. And, you know, all the guys here, we know that. You try to get in a hurry, and bad things happen in the stock saw. I'm happy to put down a safe cut. It might not be the fastest cut, but I guarantee you we'll all be within some tight numbers here today on this, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, low 11s, that's a great time. Big round of applause to our leader in the stock saw, Nate Hodges.
I can't say it better than Nate just did himself. You start pushing that envelope too far, and that's where you get the mess-ups. Nate Hodges was a victim of that yesterday, and unfortunately today it's Grant Foreman missing that upcut, a very tough break. Here we'll take a look at this is now Nate Hodges on stand number 2. Got a little bit farther outside the log than I know he would normally like to, but that let him get lined up for a proper upcut. Nice, clean, straight cut.
Good day so far for Nate Hodges. Opened up with a 3rd place in the underhand, a sub-11 time to take the lead. And early on here in the stock saw, Grant Foreman having a rough start today. He's got to right the ship, 15.48.
Well, this year actually, I took some time and I focused away from actually the chopping disciplines, which are my strongest events, and actually focused more on the sawing disciplines. You know, I spent a lot of time with stock sawing, single bucking, and hot sawing. So I figured, you know, I'm very strong in the chopping. I can rely on skill for that, but I need to develop a little bit more of a skill into the sawing events. So I just kind of spent more time training the sawing events, and so coming into it, you know, it might mean a pretty strong overall performance.
Second heat of the stock saw, Ben Nicely and Matt Koger.
Our defending champ, Matt Koger, already taking a 1st place in the 1st discipline, the underhand chop. Going up against Ben Nicely. Ben Nicely, good solid start in the underhand, right in the middle of the pack there.
Warm up your saws. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both these guys just saw the difficulty for Grant Foreman, and they do not want to repeat. Look at both of these guys very quick through the bottom of the lawn. We're going to have a very close heat on our hands. Oh, my gosh. Both of them are going to be right around that 11-second flat mark. See if we got clean discs. No flags flying.
Nice job, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
All right, come on. Don't worry, you're fine, man. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. You're in the 10s. That's unofficial. We always know it gets a little bit less. You said you've been focusing on the sawing. That was such a beautiful entry in the wood. Your facial expression just said calm.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing you got to train for, you know, be under duress, under pressure, and then go in, just being able to stay calm, react to what the saw's giving you, and just keep going.
All right, thanks for waiting on that official time. Great job, big steel points. Thanks, buddy.
While we're waiting on the official time, let's go back to our unofficial eyes. There you have it on the screen in front of you. Look at the nose of the bar for Matt Coger drawing back in, just opening up the tooth a little bit. Yeah. Well, there you have it. Clear as day. Clear as day. Clear as day. What a photo finish from these two athletes.
Oh my goodness, well, there we go. The final official numbers in 10.87 for Ben Nicely, a personal best for him in steel competition, and for Matt Coger, a 10.91 has him tied for second with Nate Hodges.
That is unreal. That is unreal. Yeah, you were right. 10.87, 10.91. But how about the tie between Hodges and Coger?
The stock saw is huge. You need to have a good cut. A DQ in the stock saw today makes it really difficult to move through to the next round. So, you know, it needs to be a good cut that's a sure cut for you. You know, you don't want to do anything too crazy, but at the same time, a lot's riding on that stock saw today. So, it needs to be quick.
Third heat of the stock saw, Josh Wilson and Walt Page.
Josh Wilson from Haywood Community College in North Carolina. Pretty decent underhand cut to start his day. Walt Page probably would have liked to have done a little better there, but here's a place where he excels year in and year out, the stock saw.
And in terms of overall points, I mean, we're one discipline in, but I think we're going to see Walt Page rise up above that current 8th place finish in the underhand. I don't think that's where he's going to lie. He's on my short list today.
Warm up your saws. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both these guys up and attacking the log. Josh Wilson getting nose down with that saw very quickly. Put himself in a great position for this upcut. Got another really close race going on. This one we can tell a little clearly by eye. But again, this is where we're getting with this stock saw discipline. These athletes are just hunting hundredths of a second now. And again, I can't emphasize this enough. Going back to a tie. They, from the go, coming down, picking up the saw, to the wood, so on and so forth. A tie?
Both cuts are good.
Great job, Josh, waiting on your official time. Such an aggressive start. But you really, you hit that top of the log pretty hard, but then you backed off and you kind of did your finesse and you listened to those RPMs. You really have to remember this isn't a muscle event, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to it. I will cut probably hundreds of cuts throughout the off-season, trying to get ready for it on all different types of wood. I'm just trying to hear what the motor's doing, what the chain's doing, just trying to figure out where's key. And I'm really aggressive into the wood just to try and get the wood fast, but then once I'm in it, I'm just, as soon as I can figure out where it needs to be is where it's at, and then just go from there.
Great job, Josh. Big round of applause, Josh Wilson. See what his time is. Heck of a cut.
Well, here you see the switch over from Josh Wilson, from cut 1 to cut 2. Very clean, very consistent run. And again, nice straight cuts from these guys. The shortest distance between 2 points, a straight line. If you're off at an angle, you're cutting an oval, you're cutting more wood.
Well, there you go. Josh Wilson taking over the lead. Official time of 10.68. Close as they were. Walt Page way down there in 5th place. Look at that, 10.95 kind of underscores what you were talking about, Kevin.
In my personal opinion, stock saw can make or break you. It's an easy event. Everyone can do it, and everyone can do it well. So if someone makes a mistake, that can hurt them. But going into the stock saw, the biggest thing to focus on is just being smooth and with a good start and good transitions. Everyone knows how to do all those things very well. I mean, I've seen the stock saw top 5, 6 places within like 2 or 3 tenths of a second. So.
Fourth heat of the stock saw, Calvin Willard and Mark Boquin.
Here we go. There's Vermont's Calvin Willard. Had a pretty good start to his day in the first discipline, going up against Mark Boquin. Athlete from New York, certainly a hard-hitting chopper, now with saw in hand.
Warm up your saws. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Quick one-handed grab for Mark Boquin. Very quick to the wood. He's also very quick through the wood. Calvin Willard, though, looking very quick at the change. Not enough, though, for Mark to reel in Mark Boquin. Boquin around that 11-second mark that just seems to be the pocket. We're pushing ever so closer every year to these guys figuring out exactly what kind of load these saws can handle and just pushing that margin.
Both cuts are good.
Hey, buddy. Always a little scared of Mark Boquin. He's one of the nicest guys in the world, though. You know, this guy hiked the Appalachian Trail in 99 days. It's such a great feat. You're so fit, you're so strong, but like we talked with Josh Wilson, that's a finesse event.
Yeah. You have to have fun. You have to relax. You got to go through the motions. You just got to do your best, you know. I was right there. I knew it was going to be close. You know, you don't want to pull too hard on that saw and stuff it, so
Going a little safe, but it might have been a little too safe.
Thanks, Mark.
Here is that run from Mark Boquin, right down the line, top to bottom. Nice thin cut that puts a little bit less pressure on the side plates and the rivets of that chain. Lets that chain spin a little more freely. A little bit crooked on his way back up through, but again, got the job done. It is going to end up right there in the rest of the pack in those 11-second marks.
Yeah, time officially 10.95 for Mark Boquin. Good race. Got the best though with Calvin Willard. Calvin's time officially 11.76.
Human, and I make mistakes more often than some people, and that's hindered the STIHL Timbersport series for me. I always have one bad discipline, have had, other than 2021. Hopefully that changes again this year, and I'm on track for all 6 disciplines as best as I can compete and be in them.
Heat 5 of the stock saw Arden Koger Jr. and Jason Lentz.
Well, a couple of sons of West Virginia here. What a lumberjack sports tradition in that state here. And there's Arden Koger, 4-time U.S. championship Arden Koger Jr. and the 2021 champion. U.S. and world, as a matter of fact, Jason Lentz.
You talk about multi-generational family operations, Koger and Lentz.
Yep.
Just synonymous with the sport.
Warm up your saws. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Jason Lentz really on that go, looking for those nanoseconds that we always talk about, especially in this discipline. So quick on the switch is Jason Lentz. But look at the progress through the wood from Arden Koger Jr. right there with him. Jason again joining that pocket of competitors right around that 11-second mark.
Both cuts are good.
Hey, Jason, from my view, it looked like that transition into the upcut, there was a slight bobble. Am I seeing that right?
Yeah, there was one in the first wheel too, Dave. When I got the saw to the wood there, I was a little wobbly. It cost me some time.
Well, one of your best events, the standing block chop, is coming up. We're going to let you get rest up, get that $650 axe ready. Jason Lentz, we're going to find out where he is in a second. Thanks, Jason. One heat left in the stock saw.
You just see the force that Jason is applying when he hits that block with the saw. You see the guide bar kind of whip around a little bit. And again, that's just the speed that he's applying to getting to the block, getting into the block, and getting that saw cutting.
Got the official times now, and it is a sub-11 cut for Jason Lentz. Going to put him in third place with a 10.90. Arden Koger Jr. Official time of 11.29.
Stock saw, obviously my favorite event. Smooth as fast always, so you go into the stock saw, I'm thinking, okay, it's time to get that saw into the log fast, cut fast, listen to it, and just adjust on the fly.
So this is the final heat of the stock saw. One of our athletes said, hey, that log is not completely square. So they just squared that log off. An absolute perfectly straight cut is what the athletes are looking for. They don't want to be seeing the end of that log off center, off kilter. So that's the athletes absolutely earn that respect. So we're going to bring them out momentarily. And our deck crew's been working so hard the last 3 days here. Of course, they're all wearing Duluth Trading Company apparel, and another big thanks to Duluth Trading Company for being on board with the STIHL Timbersports Series. Sixth and final heat of the stock saw. This is Cassidy Shear and Maddie Slingerland.
Two more of the products of multi-generational lumberjack sports talent out there today. Matt Slingerland going up against Cassidy Shear, final heat of the stock saw.
Well, and you hear other professional athletes talk about training stock saw.
Warm up your saws.
They keep coming back to Maddie Slingerland. They keep coming back to his approach and the work that he's done. You know, names like Maddie Slingerland, Lawrence O'Toole. It's just the mental effort and how they've broken this discipline down into packets.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Very quick one-handed grab. No body movement. Feet stay planted. Not shifting weight around. Maddie Slingerland has got a smoker of a cut going. There it is. Unofficially a 10.83. I got the feeling that time's going to drop a little more when we see the official cut, or the official time for that cut. That is what I wanted to see from Maddie Slingerland. That is going to be our litmus test for that man here today. That shows you where his mind is. Smooth, clean cut from Maddie Slingerland.
Both cuts are good.
Well, we typically hear, let's go, and he went. Great job. We're waiting for the official time. Well, you look good to me, buddy. I've watched you do so many stock saws. A fast one-handed grab. You've represented the United States team relay cutting the stock saw. How do you feel that event went?
Yeah, I think it went pretty smooth, Dave. I could have maybe adjusted the pressure a little better on the first cut, but can't complain with that. So everything went smooth.
Great. God, get your standing block axe. Got another chopping event coming up. Big round of applause for Matty Koger. He's going to be probably 1 or 2 in this event, and we are waiting patiently.
Now, I'm not waiting patiently. We're going to go back and look at this run right now. Cassidy Shear yesterday, a bit of a contentious call. You must make a safe start with the saw. 3 points of contact, and he had that saw just absolutely clenched, not letting it move an inch. Let's watch this run here from Maddie Slingerland, sporting the Jason Wynyard support band on that left wrist. We'd love to see that. One-handed grab, up to the log, straight down through, body position spot on, no movement of the feet, no shifting. Nose of the bar sucked in just about as far as you possibly could. Great cut from Matt Slingerland.
Waiting on that official time for Matt Slingerland. And there it is, good enough for second place. Good cut, 10.72. Cassidy Shear in 10th place with 11.44. So that means Josh Wilson has taken the stock saw and top points right there. Josh Wilson saying, hey, I want to be part of the conversation, and making a pretty good case for it right there. Let's take a look at our overall standings right now, and it is Josh Wilson on top, a single point ahead of Matt Koger. Jason Lentz is also tied at second place. Nate Hodges, Ben Nicely, Matt Slingerland, the bottom 4 spots now. It's what we're looking. Only the top 8 are going to advance. So in the bottom 4, Shear, Koger, Willard, and Foreman. We're going to take ourselves a quick break here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and we will be right back with some more action for you. Coming up, the standing block. Don't go away.
The helpful hardware,
Let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own two hands.
It's just 3 words, but they tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach. Why there are over 10,000 local steel dealers in communities all across this nation. And why we're putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words. 3 words you can kick dirt on, drag through the mud, but you can't cover up. Not everyone can say them, but we can. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours.
Doesn't start. I can't ever get it to start.
Welcome back, the original extreme sport. Rocking the house here at German Fest, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Sparkling summer day on the shores of Lake Michigan, the U.S. Men's Championship 2023. We got 2 disciplines down and another one to go before we make some changes. That will be the end of our first segment of competition. Let's get it going. Super Dave, you ready to go?
Absolutely, Tommy. This first heat in the next event is Mark Boquin and Josh Wilson. This is the standing block chop.
On the left is Mark Boquin. He'll also be on stand number 1, as you see right there. Going up against our current points leader, Josh Wilson.
Well, Tommy, Josh Wilson was on my list of guys like to really watch. Even saying that, though, I didn't think I'd be watching him on top of the points this early on. This really set the stage well for himself.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Boquin really quick on the go. Josh Wilson also right there with him. Nice clean cut from Josh Wilson as he goes to the far wood over there. Punches in an up driver. It's going to be advantage Wilson at the turn. A ton of cuttable wood over there for Boquin. He's a very powerful chopper. He'll break a lot, but Josh Wilson cut it better. No hands, no qualms about it. Josh Wilson just cut the front of that log smarter, cleaner, and got the job done faster. So there is a little bit of discussion from the judges. I think we should be all right. The top of his block split apart.
Nice job, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
Josh, what do you hear? Let's get your sponsors. Here, face the camera. There you go, buddy. Great cut. I mean, you're leading overall. You won the stock saw. Are you just finding more in Josh Wilson? That was a great cut.
I'm just having a blast today. Yesterday was so stressful just to make it into today, but today it's just have fun and do what you can do. And I'm just, lines for all finds a nut every once in a while. I found it today. So.
All right, great cut, Josh.
Thank you.
Great cut, great start to the day for Josh Wilson. Folks, if you're new to the Timber Sports family and you haven't checked out our trophy event, I won't go into details. Look it up online, watch it on YouTube. Join us next year for that. Josh Wilson has been spending a lot of time working on that one-man relay race, and I think that's why we're seeing him excel here on the main stage for the national championship.
Good cut for Josh Wilson on a tear today. Official time of 16.83. Mark Boquin's time 18.53.
I have not been cutting my standing blocks great. It's been my best chop sometimes in years past, and for some reason I've been cutting them well in training, just haven't cut one great in a competition recently. Maybe I'm saving that excellent standing block cut for the finals here today. But again, I mean, if there is any event that I'm not gonna go max effort and more just try to cut clean and conservative, it will be the standing block.
Heat number 2 of the standing block chop, Cassidy Shear and Calvin Willard.
Well, we're about to find out what Cassidy Shear has saved for this championship around here. He's in the next heat of the standing block, going up against the logger, the forester from Vermont, Calvin Willard.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oof, Cassidy Shear really right there on the go, but you know what? That's what you've got to do. That's the smart play in this field. It is too tough to sit around. Both these guys synchronized into the backside of the block. Cassidy Shear just throwing a shovel of an axe at the back of this log. That massive axe just rewarding it with big slabs of wood.
Both cuts are good.
Calvin, great cut. I know you were disappointed with the stock saw. Heck of a cut in the standing block, exactly what you needed.
Yeah, stock saw didn't go as planned, so tried to make up a few points if I can in that event, but we'll see.
Tough question here. Who has the best maple syrup, Wisconsin or Vermont?
I don't even know if you can ask that question, Dave. Of course it's Vermont.
Calvin, he's got a maple syrup business in Vermont. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Look what you... Uh-oh. Tell him what you do. Come on.
My wife and I, yeah, we have a maple syrup business back in Vermont, so it's called Boney Woods Maple. If anybody wants to look us up and try it out.
Thanks, Calvin. Big
Here's a look at the synchronized turns. The front side of Calvin's log got a little bit away from him, especially on those up hits. You see those steps. It would be advantage Shear on the front opening side of this log, but Calvin Willard just stayed with it, had the depth of drivers on the front side of that log, and was able to break away that slab of wood. Nice big pig's ear sticking up in the air. Both these guys putting up good times.
Well, there's the official time for Calvin Willard, an 18.04 for Cassidy Shear, a 19.05. Both of these guys kind of needing some help from the rest of the field to survive, because we're coming to the end of our first leg of competition here, and you have to be in the top 8 in order to move on.
It's really funny because here I am. I'm sitting here 54 years old. Both my kids are out of the house. House is paid off. I don't have any debt. And I train more now than I have ever trained in my career. I wish I could go back 20 years ago when I was in my prime physically and train as much as I'm training now, because I would have probably bested the David Bolsteds and the Jason Wynyards. But here I am, 54 years old, still being a pain in the backside to the Matt Kogers and the Jason Lentzes. And I really put a lot of effort into, as I tell my wife, you don't know how hard I work to look this mediocre.
Third heat of the standing block chop, Ben Nicely and Arden Koger Jr.
Well, one of the most personable pains in the backside you'll ever meet. Arden Koger Jr. at 53, still overachieving out there, going up against Ben Nicely. Ben Nicely in his third U.S. championship, and he has made the finals in all 3 trips.
Well, and part of that training, though, is his giving to the next generation of choppers. He spends an enormous amount of time training other athletes, and I think it pays dividends to him as well.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Full generational gap between these two cutters. Watch the sophistication and speed of Arden Koger Jr. I cannot emphasize enough what a great day he had in semifinal round, with the exception, the asterisk, of the hot saw. Ben Nicely, beautiful clean front face on that log, looking to drive near, going far but not reaching far enough. There it is, Ben Nicely, one blow ahead of Arden Koger Jr. One swing, probably about 1 second. That might end up being as much as 2 positions in this field. There's room to sneak in between those guys.
Nice job, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
This is what you get. This is what you get when you win the heat. Got to do an interview. Tough front. Looked like you had a scoop, but you made up for it.
Yeah, potentially gripping the axe too hard. That's usually what happens when I get up there. I get a little nervous, but yeah, made up for it in the back. Probably the wrong axe for that wood.
Why?
The axe didn't feel like it wanted to penetrate like it should.
Got obviously we're going to hope that you stick around for the springboard chop. Give you a chance to use a different axe. Tell the crowd, how many axes do you bring with you, and what's the cost of these racing axes?
Yeah, I've got like 16 to 20 that I usually bring, and each one's anywhere from $450 to $750.
Thanks, Ben.
Appreciate it.
Well, Ben Nicely had some issues in semifinal round action with some scoops, and he also had one here. I couldn't agree more. I think this is nerves. It'll be next hit right about there. Can't really see it behind that chip, but it sort of rolls up in, and that's just him gripping down on that handle, and it sort of forces that head to twist up. Did a great job, though, driving off a tremendous amount of wood on the far side of that block.
The official times now, Ben Nicely 20.94, and behind him Arden Koger with a 21.94.
It's funny. I'd like to say there is one particular event that I lean on, but you've been doing it as long as I have, and you tend to make your weak events your strong events, and try to keep your strong events as your strong events. So, in my opinion, I don't really have any weak events. So, I kind of just go through the day and focus on each event one at a time and enjoy it while I can.
Heat for the standing block chop, Matty Slingerland and Grant Foreman.
Matt Slingerland coming off a great stock saw effort right there in his quest to Moved from silver to gold in his career at STIHL Timbersports. Going up against Grant Foreman. Grant having a little bit of a rough go of it so far today. Really like to see him put down a good time right here.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Maddie looked super impressive yesterday in our semifinal rounds, and he is starting off this chop exceptionally strong, putting on an absolute clinic. Beautiful, clean front face from both of these cutters. Grant Foreman has a whole lot to make up after that stock saw run. Maddie Slingerland just wants to keep gobbling up points. He has been down in terms of overall points compared to where we saw him yesterday in semifinal action, but just made a statement with that standing block chop.
Both cuts are good.
So that was unreal. You even got one of the best women's single buckers in the world, Lindsey Dawn, yelling for you out there. Low 15s. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, I saw Josh put up an amazing time. I knew I had to go for it, but I knew the wood was there, so I listened to my coaches, hammered down, and just got it off.
All right, great job, Matt.
Thanks.
Taking another look at this run here, I'm getting mesmerized watching these guys cut in unison. You can see that open front face, lots of clear open wood or open air to drive through. There it is, that final far driver, down driver for Maddie Slingerland. Again, what's come into play for him this year, I feel like, is the mental game. He is calm, cool, collected. That is dangerous for the rest of the field.
Got a little bit of swagger going for Matt Slingerland right now. 14.99. Grant Foreman with a 16.62.
Yeah, I mean, you're always trying to improve, and that's I think that's the same for everyone. All the other athletes are continuing to improve I think we all are as a group getting better every year, and so it's part of it's keeping up, keeping up with everyone else as they're getting better, and also trying to get ahead, and I mean it's a huge commitment to the sport, the amount of time that you put into to get to this level, and so that's what you have to kind of look forward to is you're going to be spending a lot of time on all the little things.
Next heat of the standing block chop. This is Walt Page and Nate Hodges.
This heat of standing block chop, the best of the West on display right now. Walt Page right there, Toll House, California, up in the Sierras. Nate Hodges, he has come close multiple times here in these U.S. championships.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So if I had to compare these two guys, Nate Hodges on the right is Gurr, Walt Page on the left is Zen. And that's just their approach to this sport. But Walt Page has been turning his Zen into Gurr and bringing the calm mental acuity with it. Nate Hodges, though, by, again, just one blow separating these two guys. Nate Hodges is going to take the best of his fellow Californian, Walt Page.
Both cuts are good.
Nate, you spent all week training up. We'll give a little shout out to Ben Hansen up in Hayward, Wisconsin. You trained at his training arena all week with Walt Page. You're both from California. You helped each other out all week. What's it like competing against your friend?
You know, we see each other a lot coming from the same area. And, you know, if we're both doing good, we're both on our A game, that's how it ends up. We're neck and neck every time. And, yeah, huge shout out to Ben Hansen letting us train up there all week. That paid off, paying dividends now. So,
thanks, Nate.
Thanks.
Here's a look at the front side of Nate Hodges' log. Great perspective in there. Those upward drivers as he turns to the back. The goal is those upward drivers should end up below the downward drivers on the back, and then you'll see a wall of wood, a pig's ear they call it, sticking up in the air. There it is near, far, and there you see that slab of wood that we broke away to release the top of that block.
Two solid cuts right there. Nate Hodges with a 15.61 tucks him up right behind Matt Slingerland there, and down in fourth place, Walt Page with a 16.61.
Yeah, I tune it out. I don't hear anything other than the go, and then when the block severs, that's about it. I hear the crowd after that. Yeah, 2021 when I won, there wasn't a crowd in Little Rock, so it doesn't faze me one way or the other. Crowd, no crowd.
Final heat of the standing block, a West Virginia battle. Jason Lentz and Matt Koger.
Well, you heard Jason Lentz talking about blocking out everything except the task in front of him. He's got a big task in front of him this time around. His final heat of the standing block, he's going up against our defending champion, Matt Koger.
Well, Tommy, I put Jason Lentz and Matt Slingerland in the same boat at the current moment, just in the way I've seen them approach the semifinal round, the way I've seen them move around this area. It's just, they're both bringing a new level of calm for them, and I think it's
athletes
off.
Ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Of course, again, Lentz and Koger, multi-generational families. These guys literally grew up. They started in diapers at competitions with each other. They are now going head-to-head, and it is advantage. Koger right now, block breaking apart on the near side, but he goes back. Look at that unofficial time, around 11.25 seconds. We got to see, that may have stopped. There goes, it changed to 11.96. They're working on it, trying to figure out where it stopped between that first blow where most of the block came off, and then they have to go back and adjust for that second hit. We do have everything on tape. It will be a proper official time, but they're sorting out those unofficial times right now.
Both cuts are good.
Every time we don't think you can go faster, you just seem to go faster. And your face, I mean, I could see it. It's just this absolute crazy focus. And you just block everything out in the world other than that 12-inch block in front of you?
That's the only thing I can think about at that moment is just what have I got to do with what's in front of me and just keep punching.
I like the celebration at the end. You have this calm exterior demeanor, but you like to get the crowd into it nowadays.
Yeah, no, it's a great crowd to have cheer me on, and no, that was a pretty good cut for you guys to cheer on.
There you go. Big round of applause. Matt Koger winning the standing block. We're going to wait on the official call if we are flirting with a new world record or not. 11.98 for Matt Koger. I think he's just barely missed it.
Just a beautiful looking cut here on the front side. You can see how smooth those faces are. When the axe chases each hit in one after the other, you gain so much efficiency. I also want to point out the gur that he went back with for just that little tab of wood. Sometimes you see when that happens, the guys go back and just try to give a quick hit to just pop that off. He went back full hit, made sure he completed the act.
Look at that official time, incredible. Matt Koger, 11.98. Jason Lentz, 14.85. So that's going to be followed up by Slingerland and third, Hodges in fourth place. Time to take a look at the overall standings right now, and as you would expect there, Matt Koger on top. Right behind him, Jason Lentz, and tied in third place. We have Nate Hodges and Josh Wilson, all very, very close there, all definitely in the conversation. Slingerland as well back there at 25. Going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own two hands.
Your neighborhood Ace carries a full lineup of steel, gas, and battery outdoor power equipment and accessories. Shop STIHL at acehardware.com. Choose in-store pickup or free delivery to your door.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Let's roll, let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
It's just 3 words, but they tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach. Why there are over 10,000 local steel dealers in communities all across this nation. And why we're putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words. 3 words you can kick dirt on, drag through the mud, but you can't cover up. Not everyone can say them, but we can. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours.
We are back in Milwaukee, Steel U.S. Championships. Going on now, our field is down to 8 competitors. For stage 2 of our competition here, this will consist of the single buck and the springboard chop. And then we will have 6. We'll take on the final event, the hot stone. Going to get you updated here. Updating on our overall point situation right now. And there you see it. Matt Koger on top with 32 points. Jason Lentz with 31. Nate Hodges, Josh Wilson tied with 27 points. Matt Slingerland, 25. Ben Nicely with 20. Walt Page, 19. And Mark Boquin with 16. As we get ready for 2 more disciplines before we reach segment 3, part 3 of our competition.
Well, as you can see on the screen there, we have said goodbye to 4 exceptional competitors. Foreman, Willard, Shear, Koger, former champions in that list, and that shows you just how tough this field is as we move into 2 more disciplines. We are now in round 2. That includes the single buck and the springboard, and to remind folks, we are doubling points. So now instead of a first place being worth 8 points, it'll be worth 16 points. So it gives us even more opportunities for competitors to grab those overall points and advance into round number 3, the hot saw elimination round.
And in the hot saw elimination round, the points are worth 3 times as much, making it even more volatile, more chances for extreme changes up and down that leaderboard.
Yeah, because hot saw isn't volatile enough, so
Yeah,
let's just throw some more fuel on that fire.
Well, you just saw the hot saw in action there. That will be the final event of the day. We are going to start this second round of competition with more sawing for you. This is going to be the single buck. Again, we have 8 competitors left out of the original 12. Going to be fighting hard to be among the top 6 by the time the single buck and the springboard are completed. 2 challenging events with a great field to take them on.
That great field of single sawyers, and this is an event that I think, again, on the surface looks simple. You'll watch our athletes on stage run the saw back and forth. Okay, you get a big, strong guy up there, they can handle that. It's all the nuanced details that are going on in this single buck event. Again, these saws weigh about 15 pounds, and they're cutting a round log. So you set that 15-pound saw on top of that round log. You're going to start on a very small amount of wood, just 8 inches or so of saw sitting on top of that log. By the time you get to the middle, you're working with full diameter. At the very bottom of this log, that's where trouble is going to set in for many of these competitors. That's where that entire weight of that saw is just sitting on a mere inch or two of timber as they attempt to drive out the bottom of the log. Any changes, any sudden changes in angle of that saw is going to cause a raker or a tooth to catch on one of those corners, the entry or exit of that log, and you will see the brakes come on full force.
We're watching footage that slowed down significantly here. It will seem like much more of a blur when these great single sawyers get in action here. But I tell you what, I'm sure it doesn't seem like it's fast to them. It's so much concentration required every millisecond. It takes it out of a competitor.
One of the things we talk a lot about in the single bucket is the waste product these saws produce. They don't make chips, they don't make dust, they discharge noodles, and you can see them flying out of the gullets of that saw, just absolutely just cascading down to the stage. Maybe we can get that shot to freeze up just for a quick second. We can talk about the bottom of this log here as they're running down through. You can see again, right now that saw is resting all the way across that entire face. It's supported on a tremendous number of teeth. By the time they get down here to the bottom of this log, you're down on very few teeth, and this is where you've got to gamble. You've got to anticipate that finish. So you'll see guys draw back and go to shove off that bottom. Anticipate or attempt it too soon, or worse yet, lift up the saw. If your saw is supposed to be sitting there, you lift it up in the air too much. Now you're coming down on that point right there. You're going to hang a raker every time and slam on the brakes.
It's not one size fits all. We will see some different approaches, some different competitors who use more or less of the saw through the course of our competition here today.
Hey, you know, Toddy, talking about that, it was really a bummer that we lost Cassidy Shear. I was talking to Cassidy this morning. He actually ordered a saw that's 6 foot 8 inches in length. He ordered it from Tasmania. He's such a tall athlete. He runs the whole saw. And he was training with like a 6'3", and sometimes he'd pull the saw completely out of the wood. But he decided he wasn't going to use it today. He had his 6'4", and I was really excited to watch him cut that. So it's unfortunate that we lost Cassidy, but it just shows how tough the competition is. Lately, like 20 seconds in the standing block gets last place. That's just unheard of.
Well, Dave, you could elaborate a little bit on that too. The benefit of a long saw, again, every time you change direction with this tool, you go from a push or a pull or vice versa, it requires a stop and restart, a tremendous amount of time and energy just to change direction with these 15-pound pieces of plate steel. Theoretically, if Cassidy Shear can effectively run that 6'8" long saw, even if that equates to one less change in direction, that would be the difference in maybe 1, 2, or even 3 positions in terms of our overall ranking.
Right, a lot of the athletes watch a single bucket that changes directions and they go, wow, they're really fast. Well, they're not fast, they're just changing directions really quick. It's that Cassidy Shear style, just long, pulling the saw, and the less directional changes, the better. I think we're gonna bring some of it up. And this is Shear right here. It's textbook. He asked me this morning, Dave, what can I do better? I said, nothing. I watched you, Cassidy. You pulled the whole nose of the saw on the first pull. Maybe we can rewind it. On that first pull, he sucked the whole nose of the saw. And watch this. No one in the world does this. Watch this. 3, 2, 1, go. Look at the whole nose goes in. It just takes guts to do that. If that saw binds, it's going to break out of the wood. What's right below the wood? Well, your knee. But he's gained confidence. And this is why he's sucking the whole nose, and that's why he ordered all the way from Tasmania a 6'8" saw to run the whole thing. Well, we'll see him, I guarantee you, back next year. He said he's having a little trouble with his standing block shot. He knows what he's doing wrong. He's a smart athlete. That's a great cut. And sometimes it's just equipment that holds you back. It's that simple. So we're looking at Walt Page right here. I can't wait. I'm just going to, the Springboard, you know, Kevin, Springboard's coming up after this. That's Walt Page's event. It's never really been the same. He's been great, a good single bucker, never great. He's a great single bucker this year. And Kevin, I know you and I talk about back when we announced Walt Page back in the STIHL Collegiate Series. And we're wondering, okay, are we going to get pros out of this? Is it going to work? Well, it worked. Walt Page is here proving it.
Well, so great to have everyone here in the BMO Pavilion here and all our fans watching from around the world. We are here at German Fest, which is a great tradition here by Lake Michigan. Perfect weather for this great festival. Everyone enjoys it. Everyone has a great time, including quite a few of our competitors. Take another look at these overall standings right now as we get closer and closer to the ultimate moment for this season. And will it be the man who won it last season and 6 times before that, Matt Koger? Well, he hasn't much of a lead ahead of Jason Lentz. They're not letting him run away, that is for sure. Nate Hodges, Josh Wilson tied for 3rd place. Matt Slingerland in 5th. Ben Nicely hanging in there with 20 points, and at 19 points, it's Walt Page. We'll be seeing him first heat, I believe, coming up in the sawing competition. So looking forward to all of that. Just about ready to go.
We are ready to go, Tommy. He won of the single buck. Mark Boquin and Walt Page.
Seventh place, Walt Page. Total points going up against 8th place, Mark Boquin. Remember, after this stage of the competition, we will lose 2 more competitors, so you don't want to be stuck in 7th or 8th. The job at hand is to move up that leaderboard.
Well, Tommy, in this elimination format, I was very curious to see how it was going to work out for the man on stand number 1, Mark Boquin. This is his discipline. He owns this discipline, but it wasn't part of the first round of elimination. I had very serious concerns if we'd see him in round 2.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There's going to be a lot of attention on these 2 gentlemen. Boquin known for his single buck cutting, Walt Page known for his springboard cutting. So now we got to see who can do their weaker event better and who can best each other. Because, oh, there it is, Boquin doing what Boquin does, but Walt Page is right on his heels.
Both cuts are good.
Mark, you got that 14.69 in the semifinal round. You're given a light head shake there. How was that cut?
Well, it wasn't the most ideal. Saw didn't quite like the wood, or probably had to do with me too as well, sawing, but I would have liked to have gone a little bit quicker than that.
Now, how do you gain that speed? How do you go quicker? You know you're a big, strong guy. Is it just presentation of the saw?
Well, it's presentation, being smooth as fast. Don't rock, don't pick up, don't lift, don't heel too much. There's a whole bunch of variables, but you kind of have to align them right and just be smooth.
Thanks, Mark.
Yep.
Here is that run from Mark Boquin. I'd love to spend the next 3 hours telling you about all the stuff he just talked about. Not lifting, not rocking, not healing too much, because all of that plays into every single cut you see on this stage and how you present the saw to the log. Mark Boquin, one of the best in the business. I don't think that was the best he had to offer here today.
Take a look at those official times, though. Mark Boquin with a 13.88, and Walt Page's time, 15.14.
Single buck, another, I guess, power event there. With the single buck, you just want to, you know, with the new time limit thing, you want to make sure in that minute that you're doing everything you can to be as consistent as you can. Consistency in these sawing events is always key, and that goes for all of them, but single buck, you want to make sure your feet are placed right. You want to make sure that saw is placed right, and then you want to make sure you attack the logs.
Second heat of the single buck. Ben Nicely, Matt Slingerland.
A couple of athletes here with a North Carolina connection. Ben Nicely, from Matthews, North Carolina. Of course, growing up in North Carolina, Matt Slingerland. Time to beat Mark Boquin's 13.88.
Tommy, I hate to pick a fight on finals day.
Uh-oh.
But Ben Nicely and I have a disagreement.
What?
And it happens to be tape on the handles. And Maddie does a little bit on the bottom hand. And okay, I'm worried about how that lets that handle move a bit and rotate in his hand. If you get muckled down too hard on that handle, if there isn't just a little bit of forgiveness there.
Athletes ready.
Saw in the
Stand
cut.
to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Ben Nicely doesn't want to hear anything about it, though. It works for him. He's making it happen. He makes his wrist break down more. I'm not sure how he does it. Both these guys, great sawing speed. Both of them presenting the saw well. I was going to say advantage, Advantage, Maddie Slingerland until that bottom eighth of the log. Remember that little moment with the yellow lines earlier on? Well, unfortunately, Maddie Slingerland just demonstrated exactly what I was talking about. He was absolutely on the go, looking great all the way down through the bottom. He's got to shake that off. He's been calm. He's been cool. Everything can't go perfect. He's got to be able to walk away, dust himself off.
Both cuts are good.
You know, like chopping, like standing on the underhand log, sawing's kind of an illusion. You know, you want to hit that near wood, it equates to progress, but you really have to just be patient, cut that far wood, even though you can't see it from your angle. You'd have to know it's disappearing. It looked like you just gave a little heel at the bottom and hooked it. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think I was getting what you said is too aggressive in my mind and just changing angles too much. You know, it is what it is.
Well, you had a great stock saw today. You're having a great day. Big springboard chop. Rest up. Maddie Slingerland, we're going to see him in the springboard. Get ready for this.
It is what it is the right attitude for Maddie Slingerland. He's got to walk away from this. He's a better single buck cutter than this, but it happens to the best. We watch this at the end. Two things are going to happen. He did have a hang up at the top, but here at the end, he's going to lift this handle up, and he goes to nose that off But then now he tries to correct, and he brings the handle back down. So it's a double hang. He hangs the nose on the far side, hangs the heel on the backside on the return, finally drives through it. You see the head shake. He knows better. He knows he'll do better next time, but we've got more disciplines. He's got to shake that off.
Well, Matt Slingerland wins the heat with 16.28. Ben nicely behind with 16.86. So still advantage. Mark Boquin on top. Walt Page in second place.
Also, Milwaukee's awesome. I mean, a lot of folks that have been, today, they've been in the series for the last 10, 15 years, and they've been to a lot of different venues. But if you talk to most of them, they're all going to say that Milwaukee's one of their favorites. I mean, the crowd is just amazing. Yesterday, you heard all the boos and the cheers. It was great, and we just love being here. Milwaukee's a beautiful city. I mean, it makes for a fun weekend. It makes for a fun trip, and we all look forward to coming back. And when they said we were coming back to Milwaukee this year, we were all excited about it because this is definitely one of our favorite venues to come to.
Heat 3, the single buck. There he is, Josh Wilson and Nate Hodges.
Well, Josh Wilson obviously enjoying this trip to Milwaukee, having a good time. Why not? He is playing at a high level today. That is for sure. Keep your eyes on Josh Wilson. Nate Hodges, well, he got here flying his own plane, I understand. So he was in a hurry to get here.
If you want it done right, just do it yourself, Tommy.
I guess that's
what
right.
I've always said.
Have to try that.
Well, and just to put a little intro here on these two guys, if Josh Wilson was going to get a first grade report card from me today, it would say exceeding expectations. He was on my short list for trouble for the top of the field and being at the top of the field and being on the podium, most likely in my mind, right there. Top 4, top 3, maybe our silver medalist, potentially even winning if things went right. But he has been out on a tear from the get-go. Nate Hodges, I feel like, has put too much pressure on Nate Hodges. He's been silver medalist twice.
Athletes
he wants
ready.
that gold. He can taste
Stand
it. But
to
he's
your
got to just
timber.
let it happen. He's got the
3,
skills.
2, 1, go!
Here we go. We're going to settle this with some single buck sawing. Again, I wish I could see Nate Hodges stretch that saw out. It's moving fast. It's dropping through the wood, but it could be so much faster. Nate Hodges here around 13, 14 seconds. 14 and a half seconds showing for Nate Hodges unofficially. That is not going to take down Boquin, but it's going to put him right near Boquin in the top 2 or 3 positions.
Both cuts are good.
Great cut, Nate. You saw what happened with Matty Slingerland, but you have to be confident in your ability, especially in that lower quarter of the log. I felt that's where you won the race.
Yeah, Dave, I just turned the throttle on there. I kind of just didn't care. I said, I'm either going to win it or lose it or go full blast, whatever. I kind of think J.P. Mercier, best saw builder in the world, in my opinion. That's a beautiful saw. It ran great, no hangs. Obviously cut well, so.
Great job, Nate.
Yep, thanks, Dave.
Let's take a look at that run, and J.P. Mercier, I'm sure, was watching that run and is watching this replay. We'd like to see him stretch that out more, but he is so fast, he is so strong. He can compensate by just keeping that saw moving and muscling it down through. Starting to see him get the arm lockout, which I know some people on our local stage here have been helping him with, and I know that's going to pay dividends as he drives through the bottom of that log.
Nate Hodges not quite enough to take down Mark Boquin. He's in second place right now. Official time of 14.43 for Josh Wilson. A time of 15.85 has him in fourth with 1 heat remaining.
I kind of gone away from the whole I want to beat this person or that person, just because it's always seemed to me that if I focused solely on trying to beat one person, I never could really get out of sort of a box, And then I started focusing more on what I can accomplish doing a discipline, any discipline, whether it be chopping or sawing. I focused more on what I can do. I actually excelled more. So just like, I don't feel like saying I want to beat this person or that person. That beating the person is the result of your performance.
Thank you, Matt Koger. Hey, final heat of the single buck, Jason Lentz, and the man you just watched, Matt Koger.
Well, now we've heard both of our top competitors so far talk about the ability to sort of block out everything, even your competitor in some cases, obviously with Matt Koger. So interesting, very much like most sports. Much of it is played on a 6-inch field between the ears. So, you know, that's an important dimension.
But you hear a lot of competitors talking about that now. They're understanding that more and more over the past decade, I'll say. Just that increasing importance on being in the right headspace. And I think about some, like, for example, Peg Engasser, a top-tier athlete in the women's division for many, many, many years, would often compete with earplugs in. She didn't want to hear from coaches, her husband, the crowd, you know, guys like us yammering away in the background. Earplugs in, being in that 6-inch headspace, and just focusing on the task at hand.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
I love watching these two go head-to-head, just the family history, the childhood history between the two of them. One-time champ, 7-time champ. Jason wants more tick marks under his name. This is going to be a close race. It is Matt Koger, but I think that cookie broke. It did. Blew out the side. This is not what our 7-time champ wanted. He had to go back. That is considered cuttable wood. The saw can be put back up there to finish that cut. Now, I would say at this point, he does have a comfortable cut in terms of not disqualifying, but that time is abysmal.
Both cuts are good.
Matty, we're just looking at, yeah, I'm just glad you're all right, buddy. It's dangerous, it's scary. There it is, it pops out, and you know your leg is right there. You look like you're good. Your Duluth Trading Company pants have not been nicked, which is good news as well. What happened?
Just, you know, when you're sawing like that and you're going all the way down, and when it gets to the bottom, you might get a little bit of tension wood there at the bottom, and it kind of clamps on the saw. So maybe that leading raker just caught, and just that where it's thin, trying to leave a little bit of alleviation in it. Just, yeah, busts away like that sometimes, and that's just just the way it goes.
Thanks for your sportsmanship. Thanks for the interview.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Obviously a very tough break for Matt Koger. To add to it, as my eye looks from here, yes, there was some kind of hang up, there was some kind of tension, but it was a thin cut. The saw was on its way out anyways, so it was on its way down and out the end of the log. I don't think he had that saw really set plumb coming down through that log. You'll see some of our competitors come out with a magnetic level just to get that plate plumb to the earth and coming straight down through that log. Yeah, thin, and it got thinner towards the bottom. So I think it was a double whammy there. Maybe I guess technically a triple whammy with that hang up.
Well, that is a stunner to say the least there. And let's look at the leaderboard right now with Jason Lentz on top. He takes the single buck top points, and Matt Koger from the top to bottom, 8th place for Matt Koger with his time of 21.98. So that's the way it stands right now. Jason Lentz with 47 points, a good strong lead. Nate Hodges, second place, 39. 35th, 35 points for Josh Wilson. Matt Koger now in 4th place with 34 points. So we have got much more to go. This is our second segment, our second leg of this competition right here. One more to decide who the 6 are who will pass on to the hot saw. We got one discipline to decide it, the springboard, when we come back.
Your neighborhood Ace carries a full lineup of STIHL gas and battery outdoor power equipment and accessories. Shop STIHL at acehardware.com. Choose in-store pickup or free delivery to your door.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Let's roll, let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own two hands.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Not everyone can say that, but we can. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours.
Springboard. Springboard simulates the traditional way of felling trees, climbing up over thick roots. First, notches known as pockets are chopped into the log. 2 springboards are then anchored into these pockets. The athlete then climbs up to chop through a 27-centimeter thick block of wood in the fastest time possible.
Well, of course, we have a springboard coming up next year. It's going to be the second and final event of the second stage of competition. Meanwhile, for all our viewers of our streaming coverage around the world, remind you that we're coming to you from Germanfest, a great tradition here in Milwaukee. It's incredible. The music, of course, is just as you would imagine it. Very traditional, very well executed. There's a huge German community here. And that lineage is strong, and it carries through into the music. Also enjoy all the traditional joys of a festival like this. All the rides, the food, everything. And of course, usually this time of year in this part of the country, you can expect a beautiful, beautiful summer day. And that's what we are enjoying today as we get ready to get back to our action here. Let's go to
First
Super
in the
Dave.
Springboard shop. Thanks, Tommy, Mark Boquin, and Walt Page.
Leading the way in the springboard, this is going to be heat number 1. Mark Boquin and Walt Page.
Be interesting to see how this plays out, Tommy. We saw these two guys go head-to-head in the single buck. It was advantage in my mind, Boquin, and he executed. He took the best of Walt Page. I've got to hand this heat, though, in the snow. We've turned our attention to the springboard over to Walt Page. He is a very clean, cerebral cutter in this springboard event, and he puts up some great-looking pockets, some great board sets, sets himself up for a good chop at the top. Get that block down on the stage. I'd be leaning towards Boquin to cut it as a standing block, but you got to get there. That block is 9 feet in the air on top of a tulip poplar log. So before Boquin can get to that white pine at the top, he's got to put in 2 solid pockets, 2 good board sets, have a great clean climb.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Right together on the start, right together on the go. Walt Page just pumping hits into that first board hole. Great board set for both of these guys. Boquin maybe a little bit too much upslope, but settling in for him. Walt Page, you could set a stein of beer on the end of that board. It is just beautiful, flat, holding great for him. Look at as he just fires hits into this block. Well ahead of Mark Boquin and perhaps well ahead of the rest of the field. He knows this is the last chance to grab STIHL overall points before the next elimination. Cuts near far. Walt Page showing a 35-second springboard chop. That's an unofficial time, but we're pushing world record pace. You see the issue here with the board set with Mark Boquin, that sag. He has his right toe nearly in the springboard pocket. He is choked up so close to that, he cannot use that horsepower. His arms are bent up. He doesn't get a good swing on that axe. He's not getting axe speed on it. Now he's going into a slashing motion on his off-handed side, driving downward. It's actually going to release a couple chips. There's a great view of it. He's going to go a little bit higher, a little bit lower, release some chips, open up a path for that axe to come down through. I cannot wait to see the official time for Walt Page. here's what I understand. We're bringing out ladders because we are concerned, we being the gentleman in stripes down there, are concerned about a potential slab violation. They want to make sure, I believe, this is what they're looking for, that that piece of wood right there sticking up in the air has been cut or chopped. A quick look from our judge up there confirms that's not a full-length piece. He did cut it off. I'm seeing a lot of positive head nods. We're going to call that good news for Walt Page. Wasn't really concerned about it, but we've got to take due diligence.
Okay, after checking the block for uncut wood, we've determined that both cuts are good.
Okay, we've got to put a period on this. We got to get that final time, because I believe we just saw a new record from Walt Page. Dave Jewett's going to get a word with him. What a feather in Walt's cap here on finals day in Milwaukee.
Defying physics. You really are doing that. To be able to strike that log in 15 seconds, ascend those boards, what's going on? What is different today with Walt Page?
You know, Dave, sometimes a springboard will start off good and you build on it and you can just roll through it, and that's what that was. It just, you know, things work out, everything's smooth, and it works out.
Like, congratulations, breaking the record. One more big round of applause. I'm speechless. Walt Page, hey, you got to get back here. Wait, whoa. There's somebody back on the West Coast you got to recognize, buddy, or I'm going to be in trouble from your wife. She wanted me to remind you.
Yeah, that's a good call. I'd like to say hello to William Surguy. I know he's watching. He's the biggest fan of this sport and all of us out here. So, hi, William. Glad you're watching, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Good job. Well, here you go. You see it right on the big screen. That is a world record. 35.43. You've seen it. Walt Page.
Let's go back and look at the cherry on the top of that world record as Walt Page opens up 1-1 on this chop. Goes after those corners, just draws the axe and got the heel a little bit stuck there. It's hard to think, like, well, you know, there's a thousandth of a second or a tenth of a second that we could get back out of this chop with that blistering pace. Look at how clean these faces are. Super efficient cutting. That last hit, I don't think that did a whole lot for him as a downward driver on the backside. It cleared a little chip out, but he already had the work done with that upward driver. Now he turns his attention, switch hitting on the back. Beautiful job, Walt Page.
Again, that official time, the new world record, 35.43 for Walt Page. Mark Boquin's time, 1.0171.
Really, all I want to do is go up there and drop to the best of my ability and see where the chips fall. With Springboard, you know, you want to get good, comfortable, clean pockets. You want to get up top and you want to take the block off as quickly as possible. You know, with Springboard, if you're not under a minute, you're not that competitive with these guys that we have today. So you expect the times to be, you know, 1:10.
Heat 2 of the Springboard, Ben Nicely and Matt Slingerland.
Here we go with heat number 2. We know that number to shoot for. 35.43 is also incidentally a world record. Going after it next are Ben Nicely and Matt Slingerland.
I feel like I'm still a little bit shocked from that. And again, congratulations, Walt. That was just exceptional.
That was awesome.
You just love to see when all of those pieces come together. And I bet nobody was more surprised than Walt Page. Because that just, I'm sure that felt effortless. I'm sure that felt smooth. But when you have one of those moments, I've been very fortunate to have a couple world record moments myself, but when it happens, it doesn't even always feel like it. The first world record I ever set with my partner, Mark Schaub, if you're watching, buddy, good to have you on board. Arden Koger Jr. was standing over the top of us. It was a crosscut, a team event. We started squabbling at the end about what we could have done better. And Arden Koger Jr. said, would you knock it off? It's a new world record.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And these guys got to put that out of their head, though. They can't be chasing that 35-second time. Yeah, sure, you want your own world record, but they got to post times. They got to get points. Ben Nicely a little bit slow, mounting that first board. Matt Slingerland doing a great job. Beautiful second pocket. A little bit of a chip in that corner. Hopefully the shoe kicks it out of the way. Nice flat position as Matty Slingerland goes after this log around that 22-second mark. For reference, Walt Page was there around like 16 seconds, maybe 15 seconds. Doing a great job wading through. He's around quick, but don't worry. Matty Slingerland is one of the strongest switch-handed choppers. Nearly equal power, not quite equal power, as he works through the back. 41-second cut coming in for Matty Slingerland. Ben Nicely not as strong on his switch hand. He is a slash cutter. There he goes. He's going to come a little bit nearer to pick up that fiber of wood that he missed. He kind of went in the guts once, then near, then far. Want to see these guys that are slash cutting the work kind of near and far. It helps that block twist open, reveals the grain of the wood, lets him get that far wood cut.
Both cuts are good.
Here comes Matty Slingerland. Hey, buddy. Great cut. So that's a great cut. I saw you cut a springboard this year in 38 seconds. I'm like, where did that come from? And you're just right here again today in the low 40s.
Yeah, the poles were a bit firmer today. So I thought I'd hold a little better up top, but, you know, I just figured I'd hammer down up there and see what happened.
I think we're going to be seeing you in the hot saw. You got to be excited to be there again.
Oh, yeah, hot saw's my favorite. Let's do it.
All right, good luck. Big round of applause. Matty Slingerland, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Take a look here as Matt opens up the front side of this log. He goes 1 and 1, then goes far, near, near, far as he chases those corners of wood, starts clearing those chips, starts to step himself up a little bit there. That can cost you a little bit. When you're not chasing those hits in, you're giving up just fractions of an inch on every single one. Gets around to the back, and again, I can't say it enough, one of the strongest switch-handed cutters we have out here. That would be an early bailout on that face for anyone else in this field, but because Matty can put in hits nearly as strong, both left and right-handed, he sets himself up to drive off the backside of that log.
Well, Matt Slingerland, it's hard to follow up a world record, but Matt Slingerland puts in a good, solid effort there. We got him still unofficially at 41.16. And that's behind Walt Page's 35.43. For Ben Nicely, we have unofficially a 104.86. Now there it is.
Hey, Kevin and Tommy, you know, this record is not safe. I don't know if you've looked at who's coming up. It's not safe. It's not. This story is not over yet with 2 heats remaining, because it can be broken again. The man who broke the record, Nate Hodges, he's looking to do it again. He did it on this stage. There's something about Milwaukee German Fest that draws world record springboard ability.
Well, I think a lot of these guys, they've got their head in the right place. They have, we've got good timber here today. All those pieces come together, and it just becomes a natural flow. But, Dave, you and I both know this. You can't go chasing records. You can't go looking to set that time. You got to cut your block.
Try telling that to Nate Hodges.
Yeah.
I was up in northwest Wisconsin, Hayward, Wisconsin last week, and I was watching. I was not getting involved. I was watching these guys train back-to-back, Nate Hodges and Walt Page, and Nate's pocket cutting is faster. If he gets it in, it's faster than Walt Page. But we saw Nate in the semifinal round, and they were fast hits, but they were everywhere. They were out of his accuracy, was compromised with the speed. So as you said yesterday, there is a point of pushing yourself to the limit. If you go beyond, it's risky business. So I think if Nate can pull that back a little bit, he doesn't have to cut the pockets as fast as Walt Page, because you know Nate's hit speed. But Nate, again, he cut it in 37 seconds here a few years ago. There's nothing that says he can't cut that in 34.
No, absolutely. And again, taking the role of armchair lumberjack, Dave, you've watched the video of Walt Page and that chop. Again, world record time, world record pace, but you and I could each find another second or so to shave off of that. We're always pushing. It could be a world record cut, and these guys are going to be dissecting and looking to save another second in there, save another fraction of a second in there, and it can be done.
And you know, these guys, they hit so hard. I'm going to wander on the stage. I've been kind of stuck over there all day. Hey, this is cool. So check this out. This is like a brace that comes down, because these guys, they're hitting so hard, and a lot of these athletes, like Mark Boquin, 300 pounds. So this bracer here coming at a 45-degree angle, the athlete can tell them exactly where they want that brace in relation to the top board. So some may want it right off the board. Some may want it right opposite. They're chopping to keep the log from moving side to side, but it's up to them, Kevin.
I'm always looking to break my record in the springboard. I've been practicing some things that I know I can break my already standing U.S. record in the springboard. I have the ability to break it. So that's a goal. If it happens, it happens. I'm not going to go out there and say, oh, I'm going to break this record, but I'm surely in a position and I have the ability to do it. I'd say I'm chopping better now than I ever have. You know, the wood, the environment doesn't always reflect that, but as an overall, I'm chopping better now than I ever have, which is a good thing.
Springboard is kind of the vein of my existence. I've never been a fan of it, so I've gotten good enough at it where I'm competitive most places, so I just hope that I, you know, put my pockets in correctly and get up there and have a decent block up top and hope that I'm around that minute 5 mark. So, but yeah, it's not my favorite event for sure.
Third heat of the springboard chop, Josh Wilson and Nate Hodges. Wilson, Morgantown, West Virginia.
Well, Super Dave gave us fair warning about Nate Hodges. Better watch out for him. Could be very volatile here. Josh Wilson says it's not his favorite event, but Josh has been surprising us all day long. I mean, he is having a day.
Yeah, in my mind, my game plan for Josh Wilson was to be there. You know, I saw him in that 3rd, 4th overall slot, kind of hanging out, waiting for that moment to strike. Instead, he came out of the gate. He was our points leader for quite amount of time in the first round, and has done a great job to set himself up in a beautiful position to strike when time is right.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, here we go. Not directly chasing, but essentially chasing that time of Walt Page in the 35-second range. A brand new record set here on the stage in Milwaukee. Nate Hodges around that 13, 14-second level. He is on pace with Walt Page in terms of the climb. Now we got to see if he can take that block apart. There's that classic fast swing speed for Nate Hodges. Look at him just moving air, moving that axe. Comes around, gets the backside out of that log, He has turned around 31 seconds. I don't think he's got that world record pace, but he's going to be posted probably the runner-up position. Driving low, that's going to be problematic. There it comes off finally. That is a tough, tough break for Nate Hodges. He was driving in too low on the backside of that log, driving into the stump. We're watching Josh Wilson finish up. Nate Hodges somewhere in that chop had a close axe leg encounter. He's walking, he's under his own power. The medics are going to take a look at him off stage. Hopefully it's a minor issue and we'll be able to get him back on stage.
Okay, both cuts are good.
Hey, want to do another interview, buddy? I'm hoping we're going to see you in the hot saw because you've had a hell of a day. We're not sure yet, so I want to get another interview with you. You've just been on fire today. I know you don't like the springboard. It's still a great time. I mean, a minute 12, that's right in the game in the semifinals. But you get in the finals, it's going to be tough to hang in there.
Yeah, it's kind of the bane of my existence in the sport, so it is what it is. But I think we'll be good, but we'll see. And just this venue's been great. Thank you guys for coming out. Thanks to Fletcher's and Greylock for helping me along the way, and we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Well, here we have another look at that run from Nate Hodges. This is transition from board one, setting pocket or chopping pocket number 2. I'm not sure where things went wrong. I think it was in the transition from the front side of the block to the back side of the block. The axe may have come down, got a little close to his leg as he was sort of helicopter turning around up there. You watch him here, the axe speed is just so fast for Hodges. He is a little bit choked up there, but he is such a strong individual. He just muscles his way through the front side of this log. Look at him just moving air, just sucking wind, fueling that body. Puts in one last up driver, comes around. There you see, he kind of flips that axe around. It was off screen. I'm not sure if that's where the problem was or if it was at the finish of the log. Dave, I don't know if you had a better vantage point down there. Maybe you got to look at when things went wrong.
Just stand by, watch when he comes off. Maybe right here. Maybe on the final blow. I think you're right, but it's not over yet. Let's just see what happens.
Yep, so here we're watching the downward drivers on the backside of that log. Coming in just too low, just a quarter inch too low. He finally just kind of hammers it off.
Yeah, I think you were right, Kevin. It was on the transition to the backside.
Another look at the angle coming around.
Yep. Oh, there it is right there. There it is right there. Yep. Yeah, good eye, Kevin. Yep.
So he was just kind of pinched in. He's a little bit tight on that log. Doesn't give him a lot of room to spin that axe down and around through there. Obviously, the medic's taking a look at him off stage. We hope that this is a minor issue for Nate Hodges. And we'll see him back in action here for the hot saw. Doing a little self-inspection there.
Yeah, Hodges is just such a tough guy. He's just a really tough guy. I'm sure he's telling them right now, tape it up and put me back in the game. I'm pretty sure we'll see him in the hot saw.
Let's look at that official time for Nate Hodges of 41.27 for Nate Hodges in that one right there. Josh Wilson 112.49. And again, we hope that the injury is more superficial than anything. We'd love to see Nate continue to compete here, that's for sure.
I'll tell you who's a happy camper coming out of that springboard chop. Obviously, he would have liked to have had the win, but Matty Slingerland to come out on top of Nate Hodges, that's a huge win for Matt Slingerland in terms of overall points.
Yeah, just staying. Those guys are lighter. Matt's not, but Nate Hodges, Walt Page, Matty Sling, they're a little lighter build and can get up on a shallower pocket than what I can. So If I can climb with them, or at least a hit behind, I can make up a hit and a half, and the block up top. I just got to stay with them getting up there.
Fourth and final heat of the Springboard, Jason Lentz, your overall leader, and Mats Koger.
Well, our points leader, Jason Lentz, laying out the big man's approach to getting over in the Springboard chop. And, of course, you got two big men going at it right here. The last two to win U.S. championships, as a matter of fact. 21, Jason Lentz. 22, Matt Koger. Matt Koger, of course, owns 7 U.S. championships.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Disappointing run for Matt Koger, our 7-time champ, coming out of that single buck. He is going to be looking to grab as many points as possible, boarding very quickly on that first board set. Remember that world record pace again. You got to be up to the block in about 15 seconds. Matt Koger not going to be far behind that. A little bit more ginger getting up on that second board, but now he's going to lay waste to it. You heard Jason Lentz talk about, if I can get there within a hit or two of them on the top, I'll get after that block faster than anybody. Now's his chance. He's going to go 2 and 2. Look at the slabs of wood fall out of Jason Lentz's block as Matt Koger works his way around to the back. He's going to come in around 40 seconds. There it is. Probably about 39 seconds for Matt Koger. Jason Lentz, our points leader, is going to want to stay on top of this chop. He cannot let off the throttle. There he goes, slashing away. One in the guts, one near, one far. 3-hit finish for Jason Lentz. Well, you heard a lot of these guys talk at the start of this event.
Both cuts are good.
Heard a lot of these guys talk about 7 people that they thought could win this event. It might have been all 12 people. What a field we've got this year in the finals.
Top to bottom, just great.
I know you
great
remember
athletes.
on this stage 3 years ago, you cut 38 seconds, 1 second behind the world record. I mean, you got to be happy for Walt Page. You guys are all good buddies, but it's bringing you back in the game. You're going to get second in the Springboard.
No, it's good for overall points, and no, that was a great record set by Walt. You know, he was, you know, it's always fun watching him springboard, and he's a pretty good inspiration for some of these other competitors.
How does anyone in the future beat 35 seconds? Can it be done?
Oh, it can be done. There's always room for improvements, and I think just, you know, Walt had it today where it's just a smooth climb up, and then the wood was really working for him, so yeah, anything can happen always.
Get your hot saw ready, buddy. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
It's a great look at Matt Koger opening up this underhand chop. You can see the wood given away from where he set his axe in there. Just a nice, clean, technical cut. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of efficiency, not giving up an inch, not giving up a 1/16 of an inch on every single one of these hits. He hoes out that far wood, does a great job opening up that front face, turns his attention. I put him right there with Matty Slingerland as far as a switch-handed cutter. I mentioned there's not a lot of guys that can do it well. Great finish for Matt Koger. Again, right at the top of the field.
And Matt Koger really needed to get the job done there. He couldn't take this one for granted. Absolutely had to do something big and came up big. Sub 40, look at that official time of 38.78. right behind Walt Page. Walt Page, of course, with the world record pace, and Jason Lintz's time, 53.63. And now for the overall standings, here's how it shakes out. Jason Lintz, 55 points, 49 points. Far back is Nate Hodges. Matt Koger right behind him. Walt Page at 45. Matt Slingerland at 43. He's going to stay in there. And Josh Wilson looks like he's going to be able to stick around with 39 points. We'll revisit that points list as we get ready for the final event of the day, as the points get ready to go to triple value. The volatility really comes into play with the hot saw, and that is just around the corner. Stay with us.
Let's roll, let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own two hands.
Your neighborhood Ace carries a full lineup of steel, gas, and battery outdoor power equipment and accessories. Shop STIHL at acehardware.com. Choose in-store pickup or free delivery to your door.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Not everyone can say that, but we can. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours.
Burp of the throttle, and is he going to be our second competitor tonight to split that crayon line?
Man.
The cut is good.
Oh, good heavens. That was impressive.
I tell you what, you were just shocking us all. I can't believe that time. Hey, one more time. Nate Hodges, first time Timber Sports, and he just won his pool.
First cut. Looking good, looking good.
That was fast, too.
Unofficially shown in the low 5-second range.
The time just came in at 5.04 seconds. This is your leader right now. We're going to ask you to stick around. And
let's see, can he hold it together? Big shove. He thinks it's all there.
He's liking it.
I don't see anybody getting too upset on stand number 1.
The cut is good.
There it is.
New leader Cassidy Shear in overall points with one more competitor to go.
And the plot thickens.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh boy, but he's going for it. He is stick on that first one.
Oh, man, I'm telling you.
There may not be a line there.
Matthew Koger with a very fast cut has set a new U.S. record in the hot saw, 5.02.
We have a new European Trophy champion. It goes by the name of Red McNull.
Yeah, we had a banger of a European trophy here today. Love that format. It is fun as all get out. And the action was live on stage. And like we just heard Floaty say, we have a new European trophy champion in Red McNull. We had a couple of upsets that were not expected, but the action was great here in Poznan, Poland. We are cut for the day, but we know that you guys are getting ready for the U.S. Pro Championship to find out who's going to be joining us in Stuttgart in November. So we wish all of you guys there the best of luck.
Cheers to Milwaukee.
Well, we are back here in Milwaukee. Thanks for those best wishes to whoever will be seeking the world title coming up later in Stuttgart. Right now, we are down to the ultimate moment, the final discipline of our 6 disciplines of the day, and it is the hot saw. We have 6 competitors remaining. Total points, well, between 6th and 1st place, it's 16. 16 points separating 1st from 6th place. Now, the points values are 3 times their original value right now. So, a win is worth 18 points here in the stock saw. You can think of all the different scenarios that can happen. DQs are not uncommon, Kevin, here. So many different directions this competition can go.
Yeah, this is by far the most fickle discipline out of all of them, and then to triple the points. It's like saying this is the most volatile situation in all of timber sports. Let's just throw some more gasoline on that fire.
Absolutely. Well, it is the hot saw. The sound and the fury is the way we end it each and every time, and this should be exciting.
First heat of the hot saw, going solo, Josh Wilson.
All right, we're running solo as opposed to the rest of our disciplines here, 1 at a time for our 6 competitors. 6th place with 39 points. Across our first 5 disciplines is Josh Wilson.
Warm up your saw.
Such a different environment for our competitors to be solo on the stage. Such a different environment for our competitors to be solo on this stage. Got to run your race, race the clock, go through
30
all your
seconds.
checks.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Job 1 is fire the saw. I think he missed that handle. He's got to go, go, go now. 2nd disc, 3rd disc, look clean, but he's a little tight on that line. I'm worried about the bottom far side of that line away from him. Job 1 from our judges is making sure that he's got 3 complete discs. That should be a non-issue. The issue I'm worried about is that line. Okay, there's a nod from our judge. It looks like he's got a line. He's putting his spike protector shoes back over his metal caulks.
Nice job. Your cut was good.
Big round of applause, Josh Wilson. He's had a great day today. Just missed the handle, buddy. I mean, This is still new for timber sports. Been around 37 years, but this is still new that you're going solo up here in front of a massive crowd. You know, what's that like?
That's kind of weird, honestly. I mean, there's no other shows we ever go to. You're on solo unless somebody has to drop for some reason. So, I mean, it is what it is. But, you know, my saw broke yesterday, so Cole Armbruster is gracious enough to let me run his today. And I was just trying to make 3 cuts at this point, and I got 3 on the deck. So.
Well, you had a great day today. Great job winning the stock saw. Big round of applause from Morgantown, West Virginia, Josh Wilson.
Here's a look at that run. So this is a foreign saw to Josh Wilson. And again, all these handles, everything just a little bit different. Comes down to grab that starter cord, misses it, maybe even knocked it out of position a little bit. That was the end I was worried about. There's actually more there than I was giving him credit for. I thought he was very tight on that crayon line, but got the job done. Unfortunately, and Josh knows this just as well as anyone, that 8-second time is just not going to cut it here in this field.
Yeah, just there's the official time. Just a shade under 8, 7.99 for Josh Wilson. As it stands right now, he has a temporary hold on that 18 points for top spot in the hot saw. But as you say, Kevin, that's unlikely to hold up. Again, you never know.
Obviously, the best event for last, no matter what format there is, and that's the hot saw. So I have the fastest saw. I feel quick, and so you just go out there, rip 3 cuts off. You know, I make it sound easy, but you just go out there and do what you can with it.
Heat 2 of the hot saw, Matt Slingerland.
Well, with a personal best under 5 seconds. Matt Slingerland certainly a formidable player stepping up to the block right now. Josh Wilson looks on from the hot seat at the second heat of the hot saw.
Warm up your saw.
So anchored with these 60 horsepower saws. Once he gets a clean start in the woods,
30 seconds. Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Maddie Slingerland turns it loose like he's got nothing to lose. A little worried about the one edge of that one cut. Looks a little on the thin side, but again, 3 very quick cuts onto the deck, showing a time around 5.25 seconds.
Call from 30 years in the business, Rich Hallett. Regardless, what a great day for Maddie Sling, but I think we're going to see a new virtual leader in the hot seat.
Nice job. Your cut is good.
Sorry, Josh. Josh, there you go. Great sportsmanship from Wilson and Slingerland. Hey, still chewing that same piece of gum today. Said a lot of athletes chew gum while they're competing. Why not? And you just seem to be a calm Matt Slingerland today. Talk about that cut, just around 5 seconds.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good cut. I was a little thin on the upcut, but I knew there was no time to second guess it, so just hammer down and go for it.
All right, enjoy your time as a virtual leader in the hot seat. We got Springboard world record holder coming up next.
There's that run from Matty Slingerland, posting a time around that 5-second mark, about 5 even. Let's watch as he brings this up. Nice thin cut on the first disc. The second one got dangerously thin in my estimation, but then that left him lots of real estate to shoot for on that third cut.
Matt Slingerland making a run on these final 2 disciplines here today. That great time of 5.07. He is in first place as it stands right now. There's your overall point standings. Matt Slingerland at 61. Jason Lentz, of course, came into this discipline with the big lead. So we are ready for our next one.
The crowd here in Milwaukee is fantastic, and that's yesterday during the semifinals. It was great. They were engaged with the athletes. They felt like they were invested in the outcomes, and they were a little frustrated with Rich from time to time, which was tough. Rich is out there making the calls, making sure that everything's even for us, which is great. And we all really appreciate Rich and what he does. The crowd didn't seem to appreciate him that much yesterday, but it's a great spot to do the U.S. Championships.
Third heat of the hot saw the Springboard world record holder, Walt Page.
Walt Page, big day for Walt so far, especially in the Springboard, setting a new world record. Incredible stuff from Walt. Let's see if he can do something magical in the hot saw. Slingerland working the gum.
Warm up your saw.
Walt Page going through all of his launch procedures. Again, just
30 seconds.
Very different format for our athletes here in the hot saw elimination round. 1 at a time on this stage, all on their own. Double checking his ignition, his decompression switches. The last signal, he'll reach down, he'll turn his oiler on.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice looking first cut, second, and third is on its way. Very clean, consistent run. I always get nervous though when I see these guys come down with the saw on the stage right next to the log, because the concern is that saw can bounce underneath the log, and if he nicks that log on the other side of the allotted amount of timber, that is a disqualification.
Nice job. Your cut is good.
good. Stick around, Maddie Slingerland. Great cut by Walt Page. Look at the overall points, though. 1 point between Page and Slingerland. Walt, great day, buddy. Only one world record today. I think that's going to stick around for years. But we also thought Nate Hodges would stick around for years, too. You must have it. You just got to feel great.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great day. Great day. Thanks, Dave.
All right. Go have a beer.
Here's that run from Walt Page. Got that saw up, fired in beautiful position. Clean, consistent cuts. We like to see even disc thickness. Just putting that saw where it needs to go. Can't emphasize enough how difficult it is to wield these 60-pound, 60-plus horsepower machines as they bounce around on the stage.
Maddie, running out of things to talk to you about. It's just been a heck of the last 2 days have been crazy with the semifinals and the finals. Between the semifinal round and this final round, what really sticks out in your mind?
Well, between the two, I'd say hanging out with my family. Cassandra in the front row, love you. Yep, it's been great here. I appreciate all the support, and let's see how it rides.
All right, you're still the leader. He's still staying around, Maddie Slingerland.
Timber sports and wood chopping events are my career. Okay. I've made a career out of doing the sport. It's very very lucrative in the sense that you got to go to a lot of competitions, and you got to spend a lot of time away from home.
How about a big thanks to the deck crew out here in their Duluth Trading Apparel. They've been working so hard. They had to work so hard in the heat on Friday. Just 3 Sawyers left to go, but the deck crew, the whole production crew, there's so much behind the scenes. And we certainly appreciate their effort. What a big hot Sawyer coming up. I can't wait to announce this. Just stand by. Here, oh, they're saying let's go. Here we go. 4th heat of the hot saw, your 7-time Timber Sports National Champion from Grafton, West Virginia, Matt Koger.
Well, there he is, the defending champ, taking the stage right now. The heat is on, both visually and in terms of the situation.
Matt Koger in a very tough spot. There's no getting around it. That single buck breakout was just unexpected.
No,
but
no one saw
warm
that.
up your this saw. Is the sport of unexpectations.
Yes, that's right, unexpectation. Okay. Yeah, brought it back with a good time in the springboard, 2nd place.
You're watching that clock behind Matt Koger. He needs a 5.69 at this time in order to take over the hot seat from Maddie.
30 seconds.
Again, you see that launch procedure. He's going around. He's checking his switches, checking his decompression.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
5.69 should not be hard for our 7-time champion, but you never know, and this doesn't.
Wow.
Sub 5-second run showing on the unofficial clock. Not even an official time at this point. Maddie Slingerland, though, already on his feet, though, over by the hot seat. He knows, we know, that was a just epic run from Matt Koger.
What a cut.
There's the ever important words from Rich Hallett.
Your cut was good.
Understatement of the
Unbelievable.
day.
He just won't go away. Here comes Matt Koger. These guys are shaking hands. I'm not sure. I'm assuming we have a new visitor in the hot seat. Come on over here. Man, you're an emotional guy. You got me emotional. I love it. It always comes down to the final event, the hot sauce. Pure attack mode.
No, that was, you know, I've always said I want to be in the force with these guys. And then just to come up and just like lay one down. I know I'm behind, but you know, anything can happen in the hot zone. But you just, yeah, finally I'm in the force. Heck yeah.
Yeah, your first time in the 4-second range?
Yes, it's the first time in under 5 seconds.
Unbelievable. Have a seat, buddy. Your day's over. Relax. Matt Koger's first time ever cutting the hot saw in the 4-second range.
There you see a fist pump from Matt Koger. As we go back and take a look at this run, watch how consistent these cuts are up into the wood. Again, he had a hard time keeping the single buck saw straight, but now you give him a 60-plus horsepower, 60-pound open modified hot saw, and he can just drive that thing straight. He's still over in the hot seat with fist pumps as he's watching that instant replay. I see you over there, buddy.
Kevin, 4.8, like well in the fours. He's in the deep end.
We've got a lot of very fast saws in this field, a lot of very fast competitors, including 2 more yet to go in the form of Hodges and Lentz. So he's fist pumping. He's super excited about that cut, but he knows there's fast stuff to come.
Well, let's take a look at the points, the overall standing situation. Now Koger on top with 66. And that is going to be 8 points ahead of Matt Slingerland. Walt Page right behind Slingerland with 57. Jason Lentz yet to cut. Nate Hodges, Josh Wilson with 48.
I'm not gonna lie. It's been a frustrating year for me because I was so close to winning it last year, and it's one thing when I get beat because somebody just flat beats me, but I made a mistake in the hot saw last year, which I've been pretty hard on myself about it because I know my ability, I know what I can do, and I made a little mistake and ended up giving away the overall championship. I put myself in a very good position last year to what I would call easily win the championship, right? You probably give me 10 cuts in a row, and I would have 9 of those cuts would have been good enough to win last year, and I had a little hiccup.
Fifth heat of the hot saw, Nate Hodges.
Great to see Nate Hodges taking the stage here. Had a bit of a scare with that mishap in the springboard chop. Okay, the math is he needs a 4.84 to take over the lead from Matt Koger.
Well, Nate is bringing the weapon to the stage to do it. He has more displacement than anyone else in the field, but he's got to steer it right. He's got to have the navigation down. I hate to say it, but I feel like he's putting too much pressure on himself. I feel like last year is just eating at him, and he's just not running the races he could.
$30 seconds.
Hodges finishes launch sequence. He's got to be sub 5 seconds. He's got to be in the 4
Athlete ready
in order to take over that
Stand
hot seat.
to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Up to the wood quick, through the wood even faster. Not much real estate to work with. Oh, man, that gets scary at the end. He is just so close. Unofficial time shows him around 5.5 seconds. I don't know where that's going to shake out with official times. He was a little nervous there on the far side of that log. Things got a little out of hand. When you've got that much rotational force in that motor, that much centrifugal force, twisting crankshafts, exhaust force, all that kind of stuff, it just, oh, they're still looking at this.
Yeah.
Okay. I get a little nervous when there's an
nice job. Your cut is good.
Okay, there we go.
So now we have to wait. We got to stand by for the final time, the final judge's decision, see if you're going to be in the hot seat. All right, come on over here. Well, let's talk. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're sticking around. Matt, you stick around for now. I know you wanted to get that monkey off your back. It's a great time. I know you can go faster. You know it. Talk about that cut.
Well, as you've explained to the crowd here, that's a lot of chainsaw. Still getting familiar with it. You know, Dennis Cahoon helped me build that. I would argue it's the most powerful hot saw on the face of this planet right now. But it doesn't mean it's the fastest in a 3-cut race. You know, it's a lot to handle, and hey, it's fun. Matt put up a great cut. Crowd is awesome. It's been a great time. Yeah, been a great day. Thanks, Dave.
All right, thanks, Nate. Just stand by. We'll see how it pans out.
There's Nate Hodges' official time again of 5.39. All right, let's take a look at those overall standings. And Hodges in second place, so Matt Koger still in the hot seat. That incredible 4.84, serving him well with 1 heat left to go.
Won the U.S. trophy for the second time in a row. Dedicated myself, my time, everything to the World Championships over in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. Ended up third there, which wasn't what I was hoping for, but pressed forward, and now I'm here ready for the U.S. Championships.
Final event of the weekend, final athlete of a long weekend, our leader overall. This is Jason Lentz.
Well, his 2021 win, U.S. Championship, with that reign ended by Matt Koger. 2022. Now Jason Lentz with a chance to take it back. See the time he needs to take the
warm
win.
up your saw.
5.39.
Jason Lentz, very skilled operator, great saw. This is in reach. This is very much in reach for Jason Lentz.
"30 seconds.
This isn't a cruise control run for Jason Lentz, but this is well within his range. Clear head, clean cut. Regardless, one of these two gentlemen in your shot is going to be our new national champion.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, go time for Jason Lentz. He can pull this off this time as well within his range. Looks like 3 good, clean, consistent cuts, showing a 5.5 second run. And you can read lips. Matt Koger said, I think he's got it. I think we just crowned our new champion. We're going to wait for official times. We're going to wait for the judges to look at this. We cannot rush into a decision like this. I'm holding my breath. I'm watching these judges. We're looking good. They've walked away.
There's no laundry on the floor. Looking all the world.
Nice job. Your cut is good.
I think Jason knew that, but I feel like I still saw that sigh of relief from Jason Lentz, just hearing those words from Rich Hallett. Just seeing these two guys together on the stage, they have been at this since childhood.
I just want to document this conversation. Tell me what you guys are talking about.
Matt just congratulated me, said I had a hell of a day, and I gave it right back to him. He's been struggling in the hot saw, and for him to cut a 484, you know, that's, I don't know, he can join me and Adam in the 4-second crew on WhatsApp. So there's very few of us that can cut that fast. And yeah, Matt's a hell of a competitor, so hats off to him.
Thanks, Jason. What a great day. Stand by though, Jason. They're saying they want you to stick around, so we want to get it right. Buddy, you just won it. You just won it. It's official. 5-2-6. 5-2-6. 1/10 of a second, the 10th he needed. 13/100ths of a second. You did it, buddy. You know in the past. Stick around. This is the second time now. We thought Matt Koger had the title. You stuck around it. You actually won it mathematically. Tell us what's going through your mind. I love it because we know your dad's home watching on the live stream. Great job. Title number 2.
Yeah, I just want to thank Dad at home, Jerry Gingras for that motor. If I didn't have a good pit crew helping me out in this sport, Mike Esch, everybody that helps out with gear. It's so tough to get good gear in this sport, and it's really awesome to have a hell of a pit crew that has my back.
Great job. There were some jokes around when you won your first heat. Is Jason a one-hit wonder? Absolutely not. You just were so solid today. No mistakes, but you needed that hot saw on the stage solo. What else can you tell us?
Yeah, I had a good single buck cut. Matt, he's a great axeman. He won the underhand and block. I was second to him in both of them. I was just trying to keep with him until the hot saw. He had an unfortunate cut in the single buck. I ended up winning it, so that kind of put the point spread a little wider for me, and I tried to give it back in the springboard, but yeah, brought it back home in the hot saw.
Great job. Big round of applause. We got an awards ceremony coming up in just a couple minutes. Stick around.
Let's go back and look at this championship-making run for Jason Lentz. Number 2 in the books for Jason Lentz, and I got the feeling that won't be the end of the story. We're going to see more championship titles in this man's future. What a great way to do it. Again, longtime friend, longtime legacies with these families. For the two of them to go head-to-head, what an amazing end to our day here in Milwaukee. Huge congratulations to Jason Lentz and the entire Lentz family watching at home.
STIHL Northwest, the branch manager from STIHL Northwest. Big round of applause for Casey Kralovitz. Our third place winner, coming all the way from California, Nate Hodges. And Nate will be taking home a bunch of cash and an Ace Hardware prize package. Coming in second place from Grafton, West Virginia, the 7-time national champion, Matt Koger. And Matt will be taking home a Duluth prize package. Thank you, Duluth. And now our winner from West Virginia, taking home 2 national titles in 3 years, Jason Lentz. I think let's bring out all of our athletes, the top 12 athletes making it to the final round. And they fought so hard. And yeah, we get to celebrate, why not? Milwaukee's German Fest. Now this is when the fun begins. Yeah, they've already been told, do not go in the VIP booth. I don't know, that's gonna be a tough one to tell these guys now that they can celebrate. Oh, we want to thank Milwaukee German Fest, Ace Hardware, STIHL, John Duluth, and Duluth Trading Company. Me? Oh, I was complaining, yeah. I didn't get one for the women's, but all right. All right, now we're talking. Yeah, love it. Hey, one more time, ladies and gentlemen, for the whole crew, the stage crew, STIHL, Duluth Trading, John Deere, Ace Hardware, and all the athletes that made this happen today. And the rumor is we'll be back here again next year. We hope to see you.
All right, everybody, raise a glass to the new champion for 2023, Jason Lentz. He won it back in 2021, and what a great family tradition. His dad, one of the greatest of all time, Mel Lentz. Mel's dad before him, Merv. Just a family tradition and embodied here on the stage, on the gold stand, the #1 stand. The winner, Jason Lentz. Congratulations, the bronze medal to Nate Hodges, silver to Matt Koger. Just a great bunch. And what a field. To all 12 deserve their congratulations. You said it, Kevin, top to bottom, so much talent, so much effort.
By far, I would say in recent history, one of the deepest talent pools we've had, and it just made for an absolute dogfight. For it to come down to the last heat, for those two gentlemen to go head-to-head, for it to be separated by just tenths of a second, that just speaks to all the talent we had on this stage today. And a huge congratulations to Jason Lentz, and again, the whole Lentz clan, including Melvin, all back at home cheering him on. What a great weekend for everyone here on that stage.
Each one of our disciplines supremely entertaining. The single buck, maybe the turning point in this one. First place for Jason Lentz and a slip up by Matt Koger. That sort of turned things around, changed the complexion of everything. But once again, all hail our 12 here, and raise a glass once again to the 2023 STIHL Timber Sports U.S. champion, Jason Lentz.